Warning: this show contains content and language some may find offensive. It is intended for mature audiences only. If you are easily offended, do not like to hear explicit language, or just have a whack and horrible sense of humor, you should probably stop watching right now. If you are still here, it means you are awesome and want to have a good time with us. If that's the case, we salute you. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright! It's Veruca, sweetheart. I'm not a magician.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's the fucking Just Being Frank show.
What up, though?
What is Gucci?
Yo.
What's up? For your headphones, yours is actually, I think, plugged in over here. Hold on.
Turn it up for me.
Turning up out this bitch.
Everybody sounds super low in my ears.
I said, It's good.
A little louder.
Little louder, though. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
Same as talk.
Say, I'm talking. What more do you want from me?
Let
me get some liquor.
Yo.
There we go. We're better. Liquor.
Some liquor.
All right. What is good? What is good, everybody? How y'all doing? I am your motherfucking host, Frank Marvici. I got my main man, Almighty L. We got motherfucking Big Leg. We got I-9 the boards. And then we got our special fucking guest, Justin. Yeah, is it Yarde? Yarde? Yard. Just Yarde.
Do not do that.
It's not always Yarde, bro.
Hey, you know what? That's what I'm asking.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm asking.
Not the patois.
Well, so I will say, though.
Yes. I forgot about the patois.
So he didn't add in your shit until later on. I feel it was just your name. I feel at one point.
Where? What do you mean?
On the agenda or the schedule.
I had to move him. It was pending because he doesn't respond. He's that guy.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Fired up.
Shots fired.
And then he texts me like, "Where's my date?" So that's when I told you like we got a shift.
Yeah, that's some you shit.
We end up shift. The way he does.
That's some you shit.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Goes
We're
close,
similar.
and then all of a sudden be like, "So what's up, yo? We doing this or what?" It's like,
So,
you entitled.
Before we get started, though, so yes, we got Justin Yarde here on the show. Man, thank you for coming. Here, just gonna bring that closer to you. I just want to make sure before we get going, everybody likes, subscribes, all that good shit. Someone's got their cell phone on the table. I can tell. It's all good. Yeah, so make sure you like, subscribe. Oh, there's a camera blurry. Which one is it? Probably because it got out of. Yeah, these are on autofocus. So if you walk by some shit, it will get out of focus. But yeah, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share our shit. Make sure, you get us out there, man. You know, we have a good ass time. We make sure that we do our best to make sure you have a good ass time. And I feel accomplished at the end of the day. I feel like we're accomplishing. We're crushing.
You feel like you've arrived?
Yeah. Yes. Final destination.
Arriving.
Choo-choo. All aboard. So yeah.
Damn, now we're running trains.
I mean, why not?
That escalated quickly.
I am white. No.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
I have no clue.
What does that even mean?
I feel like if you look at the train running ratio, I feel like
train running ratio.
I feel like it might be higher in the white community than the black community. I don't know though for certain.
Hey, that's a ratio. Like I don't know if you know this, but like that's an impressive
a racial ratio.
It's an impressive ratio. It's not just a ratio. Like
I don't know if it's based off science.
Yo,
though.
so he just called you impressive. How does that make you feel?
Because we got in love with each other, man. Pause. Okay?
Right.
That's my little homie. That's my little homie. That's now a foot taller than me.
Right. There's no ratio for that. It's you know what I mean. But you know.
Yeah, he's always trying to measure something. You know what it is? Insecurity.
Listen, I wasn't even going there.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't even going there.
Can we get there?
Was that a Freudian slip?
I wasn't going that way either.
Was that a Freudian slip?
I think you're just gay.
Oh. I'm glad to be a part of that whole
the Glizzy
punchline.
King.
That was funny.
No. Wow. All right. So anyway,
that was like an alley oop. I was like, here, take that.
Take
pause.
the glizzy.
Pause.
This guy's got to relax.
So we're gonna have a serious conversation tonight.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna keep joking to a minute.
There's a camera that should be faced that way too.
Oh, you know what? It's got to get adjusted for him because I wasn't.
Not adjusted.
More importantly, who's taking this other shot with me? And my team.
Dame.
Pass that then.
You want one
It's
too?
Dude,
Blood clot liquor.
if you drink cognac, that's for you.
Is that?
Dark
He
liquor.
don't drink.
No?
Nah. No drink for the man.
You want water?
There we go.
I'm sure he drinks that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be filtered, boiled, purified.
Is it alkaline?
No.
From the Himalayan mountains.
Let me ask you this: what's your favorite water to drink?
Not
boiled.
Yo, you better not.
Shot, but I'm not gonna take my shot.
I'll say it because he said you better not. So now I want to hear it.
All right.
No,
He said you bet
All right.
nah.
Was there
I'll say
you shooting
Avion.
too?
Avion water.
Avion.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mom.
Avion's probably one of the best.
I'm
lying.
a
Saratoga
Life Water
Springs.
fan.
Life Water's trash, but
Is it really?
Yeah.
If it is, I'll stop drinking it.
Well, in comparison.
in comparison
Oh, got
to
you.
the better
Because
one.
I before I got into I was trying to choose a water that had more alkalinity and something that was just better than fucking Poland Spring.
That's how I choose my water too.
And Life Water was highly rated.
It's big words here.
Yeah, by doctors. Yeah, by most doctors will do Life Water and
Cheers.
Salute to
This is the water I drink. So you recommend Avion?
Salute.
What the
Salute
hell's in that
To
black
everybody's
water?
good health.
Dye.
Why
It's
is
food
water
coloring.
black?
Fulvic acid.
Interesting. The plot thickens.
So
No, it looks kind
if you don't, anybody watching doesn't know about Justin, he is. I don't want to call you a health guru, right? Would you consider yourself
He's that guy.
I wouldn't consider myself a health guru.
How would you describe yourself?
Educator.
a health seeker? You know what I mean? That's
Here we go.
that's my life. My
You
lifestyle is health.
Dr.
Yeah, that was
Seven's, you know,
Predecessor.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the word.
There's a lot of people that are better than me. Way more knowledge.
But is that something you're striving to necessarily?
I'm no disrespect to him.
Yeah, no.
I actually worked with his first wife
Oh, wow.
a couple times, but she but I'm trying to be way better.
That's a blessing.
Did you get
Still.
any influence from Richard Simmons?
Was that a shot? Yo, the fact that you even know who that is awesome.
Come on, man.
Right?
That is your age. Let's do it.
Dude, she's about to be 26.
Relax.
Big
She's old.
Hey.
All right, not too much.
We're not old. We're not even 30 yet.
How old are you?
All right, let's
Take a
calm it
guess.
down.
I don't know. You look young.
12.
But he looks young, and we know that's a fucking.
That's why I said take a guess. I'll give you a hint. I'm older than you.
You're 30? 30 something?
Are you really?
No, I'm 27. What you mean? Am I
All
really?
right, you're a year older.
Yo, I know, but you're just gonna be like. I forget
y'all
that
are
you've grown the
You guys
fuck
are just
up.
old as hell.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
sorry.
But to my defense, I hadn't seen you since I think he was like 19.
I remember
You
when we were
just turned
sending him
27?
to the store for Dutches
see?
and shit, and he
I'm
wasn't even
26
old enough to
next-
buy him.
next-
That's right. And now I am, and I'm doing it, and I'm proud
Now
of
I'm sending
myself.
other people.
And I'm proud
What?
of myself.
Now we sending others.
Period.
I am.
So wouldn't necessarily consider yourself a health
Now
guru,
you're the
but
sender, not the sendee.
you're someone that cares obviously about that, and that's something that you'd say you specialize in. You know what I mean? You at least unlock shit that the modern folk or common folk, which I should say, don't know about.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha,
what I do for a living. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's my everyday life. So
And so, I don't want to get get through all the questions too quickly here. But one of the things I wanted to ask you is with it's Journey Fit. No, only our Journey Fit.
Yep.
I noticed though, is that only geared towards females?
Nah.
no.
Okay, because I just noticed that one of the things was like helping females lose like 20
Females
pounds
just care
in
Yo,
12
follow
weeks.
that page.
That's our-
definitely Facebook.
Yeah, all the
I be
links are
seeing
in the
this shit,
description
man.
too.
Yeah.
By the way, of the promo.
I know a
post.
few people who
One of
went
the
through
promo
your
posts.
program and really are, changed their lifestyle based off of that. You know what I'm
That's what's
saying?
up.
Yeah, that's our niche though. So
You're doing your thing, man.
most men are not going to come to the gym. You know what I mean? And work out with another.
They just want to lift the
You know what I mean?
weights.
They will look for guidance. I have probably 15% of my clientele is male. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So, but the rest are going to be women because they seek health a little bit more than
Right. I think men feel too men feel too macho to sometimes. I feel like to
You
ask
don't
for
want to
help.
ask for help. It's a pride
It's 100% an ego thing.
Well, my shit is I always felt like I don't want to. It's not so much ego, but I didn't want to like hold up my friends that actually knew what the fuck they were doing in the gym. I didn't want to slow them down and feel like have them be like, ugh. No, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of shit I learned on my own first.
Yeah, it's either you feel less or it's just an ego thing. You know what I mean? Because I've been at the bottom before and I'm still
Pause.
already, huh?
Nah, that was wild, yo.
I have a long time
that was wild,
of time frame that I missed harassing the
right,
shit out you.
Right.
So
and now I'm a grown ass man, so it's just gonna be it's just gonna
Tighten that up. Pause. There's a knob you gotta turn.
But
so your shit
at the end of the
don't
day, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. Nate.
Nah, it's over there. On the
You know what? We didn't even
actual
actually
stand part.
introduce. Did we introduce Nate?
No, that's straight right there. That's straight right there.
Nah, because it's falling. Like that's what I'm saying.
So-
Nah, the big knob.
I mean, I would say it's still,
Other side.
This way?
Yeah.
Good
that
evening,
one.
Mom.
Oh yeah.
Good
There you
evening.
go.
Yeah, that's
My
the
mom just said welcome home to you too.
that's the fifth.
What's up, Ma? I'm home. It's my second day back after being gone for almost a year.
Yeah, and we're gonna get
good, Ma?
some info
You
on that,
initial-
whatever you can
you-
share. At
That's
any-
dope.
So we'll get a time to come around to you too if you. Well, it's just some,
Oh yeah, I'm an open book.
Oh,
Pause. I guess we're doing that now.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that might have been a
I need your
pause
courses.
because I don't know what y'all pausing or not pausing. So
We're
If
pausing
it
it all.
sound crazy, it's getting
If it
paused.
somehow gets by without us pausing, then feel accomplished. You know what I mean?
that's right. That's my goal tonight. Now
Pause.
You fuck with that?
here we go.
I'm arriving.
I didn't think so.
So, yeah, so that was one thing that I noticed. I wasn't sure if that's kind of like where the main focus was or if it was co-ed, you know, whatever the case may be. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you is there something that prompted you to want to do what you're doing now? Have you always kind of been like conscious of eating better, working out, so forth and so forth? Like,
You know what's crazy? Because my mom was health conscious. You know what I mean? She was health conscious, and then my sister went vegetarian out of nowhere, just out of the blue. I just found out recently while we were eating tofu for like the longest time. And she was healthy. Then when I left the house, I was not healthy. I was eating honey buns. I was eating I was eating a whole bunch of stuff. Like
what else?
bun
Like,
and
what else? Give me
cheese.
some more
Yo,
examples.
what you got against honey bun?
What do you got? Bun and cheese.
No,
Damn.
honey buns was life. I mean, I came to Springfield off and living off of honey buns for so long. Like,
Nah, that's why I
What
can't
were their
eat it no
names?
more.
What were
I
their
ate
names?
So many.
You said big bursts?
big bursts.
Wow.
Big bursts.
big lid joints?
Yes, T-knees. You know what I mean? Zebra cakes.
Yeah, those
you know
is
what I
fire,
live off
yo.
of? The little Debbie
pork sticks to the
chocolate
roof
chip
of your
cookies.
That's expensive.
Nah, I'm talking about.
That's the privilege speaking.
The funny shit is I was homeless when I was eating them shits. But they're 35 cents for two big ass cookies. I get two. I would get those at the fucking Save More, and a thing of milk, and I lived off that shit for
Yo,
like.
you remember
When
the
I was
bread store,
home,
yo?
I would cop the box at a
I
single
remember
honey
the-
bun.
Yeah, man.
With
The what
six
store?
of them.
The bread store, like the Wonder, whatever the hell.
Oh,
Yeah, over on State Street,
was it?
You had
Yeah.
State
Wonder
Line
Bread.
too. You
See,
had,
I lived that.
you had State Line
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
So you came from where?
What do you mean?
Like exactly?
Oh,
Because
like-
you said when you came to Springfield.
Oh,
where'd
from
you-
Boston. I'm from Boston originally.
Okay, originally.
Yeah.
Oh, bean
Boston, or outside of Boston?
No, Boston.
In
Hyde
your-
Park,
like what city?
Dorchester, Mattapan.
Man, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a city, so I know people be
like a
like,
territory.
yeah, it's like you could call it boroughs, but
It's
it's,
two
really not
streets.
neighborhood. It really is.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
It's kind of like Springfield in a sense.
Nah, no,
Nah, Springfield's a little bigger.
I don't know. I mean,
Springfield's bigger.
You got four streets. You got four main streets. You know what I'm saying?
Springfield isn't.
Main Street.
no, but I will.
Cities.
I will say the area of Springfield is bigger than people think, though. You know what I'm saying?
Your city of homes. You know what I mean? So Boston's really condensed, but Boston's huge in comparison because everything in Springfield is 15 minutes away. But you guys complain like it's like 30 minutes for you guys is like a lot.
Yeah, because everything is like 15, 20.
Yeah.
20 at the most.
Everything's 30
I
minutes
travel
away in
30
Boston.
minutes to work. And I hate that shit.
So being from Boston, what you Cape Verdean? What are you ethnicity wise?
What does that have to do with Boston?
Cape
lot.
Verdean is crazy.
I didn't even know that was its own
second
thing.
largest community of Cape Verdean.
Oh, I
you
didn't
white
know
guy.
that.
You're Cape Verdean
I didn't
for
even
real?
know
Nah, I
that.
didn't know
got
that.
jokes.
Oh, what are you?
He is though. Let me say, I'm not saying shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
He actually half Trinity.
I am Trini. I'm half Trini.
Okay.
You know,
What's the other half? White.
Polish.
It's giving
So I'm
very much
European.
white. Yep. I see it.
Yeah, he didn't just say white. He said Polish.
Polish.
European.
Galumkis and
You like sausages,
pierogies, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Whoa. It's kielbasa
But what is it? What's your ethnicity?
And cabbage.
My mom's Grenadian, my dad's Bayesian.
Okay.
Not a lick of Jamaican in there.
No, I mean,
Boom.
no,
About Yarde. Go on.
there's not as much Jamaicans and there's a lot of Jamaicans in Boston.
A
but-
lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Haitians in Boston.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember the first time I met some Haitians. They were my next door neighbors, and I didn't realize just how fluent French
Yeah.
is spoken.
I have a question.
That shit fucked me up. They're like, parlez-vous français?
So-
And I was like, what the fuck?
Culturally, so I know Jamaicans have like a little stigma against Haitians. Are other Caribbean cultures? Yeah.
It's hard in Boston. It's hard for Haitians in Boston.
Yeah.
From growing up, it was tough.
It's hard for Haitians, period.
I mean, not every Miami, Florida. That's them.
They run.
You're not doing
That's
nothing.
they shit.
You got to check in.
Yeah.
You can't even, that's for real. You really can't even just go through Florida, certain parts of Florida, without checking in.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give Haitians their flowers right now. Haitians are some of the best people
No, they're dope. I've
I've ever met in
I
my
will
entire
agree
life.
1,000%.
But like, I
my
could
neighbors
never
are like my
marry a
best
Haitian.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? My family would
they
have
don't
a
give
problem
a fuck
with that.
about nothing.
Not a damn.
They just want to have a good life because where they come from,
It's hard.
they can't get that. And they come to America and they don't give a shit about anything.
They don't
outside.
stress out about
Podcast,
shit.
right?
They, like anytime I come, the outside fucking could be storming. He
They don't
just
care.
laid up.
They just want to drink.
Just chilling.
They just want to drink and play dominoes and just speak their Creole and that's it.
That's
and
it.
just eat good food and that's all they care about. Because I
Eat
made
their pickles, yo.
some of my close people I met when I left and came back were Haitian. You know what I mean? And they were just dope people and that's all they just here for a good
They're
time.
solid, man. They're
That's
solid.
I 100% agree with that. And the very like welcoming.
Yeah,
At least,
100%.
welcome me right into the fucking house.
Yeah, if you just walk up to the table to drink and they're doing whatever, they're gonna
sit down.
they're gonna
As long as you ain't fucking
But
fucking
they
up the
will.
vibe.
No, not
You
at all.
do you, okay?
Yeah, 100%. They're
Oh, be a
amazing
strong
people.
your fuck. Nah.
Oh, 100%. Cape Verdeans, I met plenty of those. Like they're all dope. You know what I mean? That whole
I don't know a lot of Cape Verdeans.
Good evening, Ma.
Which is crazy.
I know a couple.
I know a few growing up in Forest Park.
So then, when you came from Boston, how'd you find your way?
Man, I don't know. I went to AIC.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to AIC and then I saw this, like, Springfield to me is like an open canvas. Like, there's so much that can be done here. Coming from Boston, it's kind of segregated and you really gotta, you could do what you want to do and you mean chase your dreams and everything like that, but it's there's more barriers. But in Springfield, it was just open. It was like, do what you want type situation. So I just hit the ground running. I started working with nonprofits and helping kids and coaching and teen programs and stuff like that. And then what did I get into? I was in YMCA for a minute. I was in YMCA with this little kid over here.
Yo, the first thing he asked, how do you know this one? Yo.
You know what I mean?
that means you was trouble.
I've always been me. That's it.
You had more
Stood out tight.
of an attitude, I think, back then.
Trouble.
I still
Back
have it.
then,
Crazy.
Exactly.
He said back then.
I've always been me.
Yeah, no,
That's what I could boil it down to.
You're much more.
We have not had a conversation for you to even make that statement. It'll be true, brother.
You didn't smile
She's
like
seen
this.
some things.
You didn't smile like this.
Life was hard.
Done a little maturing. She did some maturing.
But yeah, it was a YMCA.
Yeah,
and then
16 versus 26 is a jump.
That's
You know?
That's a big 10 years, too.
Yeah.
A lot happens in those
A lot
10
happens
years.
in 10 years.
Definitely a
man.
lot happens in
Springfield
10 years.
But in that particular 10 years, I'm saying,
From
like,
Bankfield,
from
brother.
16 to
Bankfield.
26,
In 10 years.
you become an adult and come of age. Like,
Yeah.
so much in that particular 10
changes,
years.
man.
16 to 26 is different than 26 to 36.
You learn that
I went
everything
from
is
a
not
hoodlum to a
That's a
professional.
jump.
reactive.
in 10
You know what I'm
years.
saying?
You know what I mean?
You can't be reactive as an adult.
you
As a
working with
kid.
Kelly back then.
Yeah.
That's what.
And Janice, yeah.
Yeah. Janice.
Janice.
Throwbacks.
so then in YMCA, that's when you started picking up a little bit of the knowledge.
He was a
or-
jerk, though. So, yeah.
He's still a jerk. Besides-
You're terrible. you were literally the worst person. But nobody knows.
No, it's known.
No, we know.
He's literally
I'm not
the worst.
I don't have any
individual.
choice but to know. Like so I get it.
He's
No
a
way.
good dude, but he's a jerk. Oh my gosh, that's why
Fully.
we're cool. That's why it works. But
So I have a question.
Yeah,
so
fuck him.
What got you started on this whole like what did it for you where you're like I have to change my
This
life.
is my last honey bun.
Yeah.
zebra cake.
Yo, all I think of is like Pookie and fucking, and he's on the bed with the crack pipe.
with the zebra cake.
He got the lip.
I got to get my life together.
The real question is, was it hard?
Nah, it wasn't as hard for me because it was medical conditions.
Oh, okay.
You had to
So
cut
it
that
was
shit.
it
You
was
had to cut
literally
out.
do or die.
I was in the hospital for an asthma attack that lasted like 8 hours. I was by myself, breathing, wheezing, couldn't do anything, couldn't move really. And I finally called the ambulance. This is like the third, fourth time it happened. And they had no answers for me. Then I had eczema, and then I fainted a couple times off of being hypoglycemic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had a whole bunch of stuff happening, and then I was just like, they have no answers. Went to all the appointments. My mom had good health insurance. All these appointments, nothing. And then my cousin, my cousin Chris, who's hilarious, is always the hood dude. So he's a little, he's a little hoodlum. He was smoking one day at my graduation party. He was like, "Yo, you still can't breathe? Like, you gotta drink smoothies."
Yo, that's some shit he would say.
But he's a vegan. He's a vegan in the hood. Like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, people was clowning you, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Drink smoothies?" But at that time, I was like, "Make me a smoothie, bro," because I'm like not breathing.
Whatever it
I'm
takes.
Like, this is the second day, and I'm still not breathing well enough. And then it cleared up some stuff. I was like, "Okay, cool." Found out what it was. Went through an elimination diet, and then it was.
That's always.
What was it? What was in the smoothie?
It was like berries or whatever.
Oh.
But what was causing my asthma was dairy.
Got it.
Yeah.
And that mucus.
Damn. Dairy causing asthma? You wouldn't even think that's some shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, and then when you say that, it makes sense. Yeah.
100%.
So after that, then I just started going crazy, just learning this straight. I stopped listening to music for like a year and just listening to straight, reading books, watching every health video, but listening to a lot of dissertations and people that are doing like health research and stuff like that. So I just listened to that, anatomy and physiology, pathophysiology. That's all I listened to for like a year or two. And then I met, rest in peace, Zephyr Mongru, who was an alkaline vegan at the time, and following Dr. Sabi. And right when we met, it just everything clicked for me. And then, how the story goes after that.
You don't see yourself ever going back, huh?
No, I mean,
not even dabbling a little bit.
Not even dabbling.
No, I wouldn't. The only thing I dabble
a little
I was
hook
gonna
out there.
say, what's the worst relapse?
You don't sneak a zebra cake?
Have you had
every now and then?
No, the worst relapse I had is when I love my wife. She's amazing. Just say that.
Big up, wifey. Big up.
My wife is amazing.
Let's go, wifey.
He's got to start with that first.
He's about, yeah, right.
Because he can't come home if he doesn't start with that.
Nah, he about to say something about her. That's
Regular
why.
vegan for a second. Not like, it wasn't crazy. I wasn't alkaline as much.
Right.
So for me, that's a relapse. Like, because I know what it is to be like.
Yo, it's extreme. I did it for almost 4 years.
We worked together in that situation. So, you know what I mean? Lance was doing meal prep for my client. So me and him would be like, "Oh no, they can't have that." It was so specific. And I really didn't have to go there with you because you already kind of knew.
Yeah.
So it was easy. But like, I'll go from not doing a fruit fast for 30 days to like maybe eating vegan ice cream. And that's a relapse for me. Like vegan ice cream with processed sugars and stuff like that. That's.
So you're all against the processed foods?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking to me, if you're asking me, like, am I against it? Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For myself.
So even so, you're not going to do like the Beyond Meats and
I've never done that.
None of that.
I'm not that type of vegan. I'm not vegan for dogs.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
None taken.
Huh?
Expand on
that
that.
mean?
What does that mean?
So vegan is a white woman privileged movement.
Okay.
Right?
All
so
right.
They go to farms and they desiccate farms that are big farms that are doing mass slaughtering.
Like the cows and shit.
They're the socialite gangsters or whatever they want to. You mean? So that's the movement, the vegan movement. Now, and that's veganism rather. Now you get down to vegan, you can kind of muddy the waters and be like, all right, I'm vegan because of health issues, but I'm still vegan because I want to save the environment. There's an environmental component to it as well. So
you can't just be vegan for the sake of being vegan?
No, it's a lifestyle.
No, obviously I know that, but I'm saying you can't just be be like, you know what, I want to be healthy. This is how I want to be, and just do it.
Yeah, I mean,
plant-based is different than vegan?
All right, but hold on.
It gets weird. It gets weird on the streets. Yeah,
there's like levels to this shit.
There is, and I hate saying that because it's so corny and cliche.
But it makes sense. So explain to me, please. What are the levels?
So again, I'm the worst person to ask because I stay in my lane. I don't really, and that's not trying to be.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, what the fuck levels? Like, you're either.
So there's levels. All right.
No,
so
let them expand.
So again, we have veganism, right? They don't
I understand
wear
that.
leather.
Yeah,
we
they
got
don't
there.
do that.
Right.
They don't even eat honey.
PETA, all that shit. Yeah.
PETA people.
Yeah.
Throwing. I've seen it.
Then you have vegan. Vegan people could drink that. Right?
Okay.
That's a beer that doesn't have maybe.
Got you, because I
doesn't
see
have
like
dairy.
vegan friendly and shit on labels and stuff. Got it. Okay.
They'll drink that, right? And be like, okay, I'm vegan. Or they'll eat something like that's the best example I'm gonna come up with right now.
Vegan ice cream.
They'll eat vegan ice cream on a regular basis. They'll eat potato chips, Lay's potato chips. They'll eat Oreos because it's vegan, right? And so that's a vegan, right? And then you have plant-based people that are conscious about what they're putting into their body.
They're not going to eat dairy.
Yeah, they're not gonna eat dairy.
Which is why the vegan ice cream is what I'm saying.
Any animal products. None of those
Right.
people are eating animal products. Right? Any of those people, veganism, vegans, and plant-based, none of them are eating.
Right, but vegan will eat dairy, whereas plant-based will not.
No.
A vegetarian.
Vegetarians eat
Vegetarian
dairy
will.
and eggs and shit.
Okay.
A vegetarian can eat dairy. They can't eat meat.
So how do you have vegan ice cream then? There's no. How is it not dairy?
Coconut milk.
What is it? Oh,
it's a-
got you. Okay, yep. All right.
You know what I mean?
All right.
But I'd say it's actually fucking
all the other
easier to
milks.
make with
Yeah, got it.
almond milk and
That
shit like
makes
that
sense.
because that shit's already thicker.
Yeah.
Fresh
Yeah.
out the gate.
Yeah.
That was like a brain fart question. That made perfect sense. When you
Yes,
said that.
it's funny though because you also have people that are 100% opposite of that and do straight meat diets. And these people will tell you they feel the best that they've ever
Pause.
felt.
Nah, that doesn't make sense. I don't
Straight
even.
No, it's
that
true.
doesn't even make sense.
No, it's definitely true.
But we found
Seth,
out.
or not? What is Rogan?
physically, you can't have that much
Joe
red meat,
Rogan's
bro.
done it.
No, we found out that the guy who champions that lied.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
The
know.
Liver
about that.
King.
I
who's
mean-
the king of eating just pure meat. Like,
That can't be good for your
take
body. I don't give a
steroids
fuck
and
who
all
you
types
are,
of
yo.
shit.
Like that
Take
can't be
steroids.
There's
good.
a whole there's a huge movement. That's gonna be the next thing. The next thing is gonna be that carnivore diet?
Yeah, the carnivore diet.
So it's that carnivore diet is gonna be the next thing, and they have validity in what they're saying, but there's a lot of precursors to that. There's so much knowledge to go in that I don't try to go.
All that iron and shit though, like that can't be good for your
I mean, you
body.
can have all
yeah,
the
but it
iron
depends
you
on what you're
want,
eating. You're eating
but-
fish. It's not just fucking red steak every single time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think, and you say meat, and I'm
Right.
eating
You
it.
think
raw,
it's just
yeah.
bloody fucking carcasses.
I mean,
That's
Nah,
what they're
you're right.
showing,
There's
though.
deer,
That's what
there's
they're
fish.
promoting. I mean, deer is amazing.
Deer is great.
Deer is
I
Venice,
love venison.
Venice is actually one of the best, especially the liver.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The liver's actually really good for you.
really good, and that's not even like that's not something to just say. That's
You guys
something that you
like
can.
liver?
I don't really
eat
like
liver
the
at
taste
all.
of
Health
it.
benefits.
But
Health
yeah,
benefits,
I don't
yeah.
really like the taste of it to be honest with you. But I know it's got good nutrients in it.
Yeah, so there's a lot with that all meat diet. It's valid, but the biggest problem is this, right? When you talk about health, you cannot blanket a health standard, which is what we're doing. Oh, the meat diet is the best for who?
See, I will say this though. I don't believe in one or the other personally. I believe just eat what the fuck you like. Just try to eat not horrible shit and processed shit.
What does
and so
that
forth,
mean?
Right? So fucking steak. If I want to have a steak, chicken primarily. You know what I'm saying? I personally sometimes eat some pork. I know that's not something you guys do, but at the end of the day, like I also love vegetables. I also fucking eat,
We eat
you
a
know,
lot of
all types
vegetables
of
in my house.
salads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
My wife
I'll
loves
just
that
get
shit.
things of just vegetables, just
does your
carrots.
salad have cheese on it?
I do and don't.
I never understood that.
And then they'd be like, I'm eating a salad.
Right.
You're eating a burger. And they put croutons on it. You're eating a
I'm not
burger.
a huge crouton fan. So
Yeah, I don't eat croutons either.
I don't eat that either.
my
That
problem
doesn't
is
make any
I
sense.
like sandwiches.
I love
There it
sandwiches.
That's
goes.
my problem.
I love
absolutely love a fucking
You
sandwich.
ever had a piece of bread with everything out of it?
Yes, I've
It's
eaten
the
just
worst
mayonnaise
shit ever.
bread or
Like
just
if they
mayonnaise
remove
sandwiches.
everything, all the additives, the preservatives, the glue, everything.
What does that
removed,
taste like?
Yeah, well, hold on.
No,
my
it's
mother
the
used to.
worst
My mother
shit
made
I have.
homemade bread sometimes.
So you might as well just
that
give
shit
bread
was
up
great. You're bugging,
entirely.
yo.
No, I've had actually
white,
originally,
that's
but now
not-
I know they do. They make that shit.
Nah,
last.
it was like a once in a
That's
blue
why,
type
like,
shit.
I've actually like seen that more and more lately, and it's actually kind of turned me off the sandwiches. That's why I haven't really ate them as of late.
Yeah,
like
but then I
cardboard?
caved and had a grinder. I can't
Can't go wrong with a steak and cheese.
This
What's wrong
guy,
with a
see,
flatbread?
this is why I love this
What's wrong
guy.
with
No,
flatbread?
no homo. Pause.
What's wrong with flatbread?
A lot. It's the same thing that's in the regular.
What about
bread.
brick oven pizza though?
So back when I was doing
It's
what
just
I was
wheat.
doing, I had to make the tortillas and everything from scratch.
We make it from scratch.
So with your mold.
Damn.
Like empanadas, we make those from scratch.
Now, see, my wife cooks.
The dough from
I've
scratch.
made pizza in a restaurant.
I made vegan pizza. I still have
It was
like
just
the
dough,
pictures, like-
yeast, and water.
And Lance
So-
can actually cook.
But
Did you guys
heard me
ever
though?
eat at Garden of Eden?
That's
Yes.
where that was his
100%
man.
Zeph.
Oh,
Rest in
word?
peace, Zeph.
Me and Zeph started the
So I
Garden
know his
Eden.
daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Demaya,
like that's crazy.
yeah.
I actually got
That's
the
dope.
chance to meet Zeph, and
Dope
just
guy.
walking in there to Garden of Eden, like he brought an energy that was 1 in a trillion.
Yeah.
Because he, again, I don't know what ethnicity he was.
He's St. Lucian, an Indian, and what he called a dot head Indian.
Okay, but
What the fuck?
Dot
Yeah, his
head.
mother was. She didn't practice, but yeah, she was a dot head.
He said that with
She was a-
conviction.
Yeah,
That's dope.
That's
Dot
his favorite
head.
thing to say.
Dot head.
But he even if it was your first time walking into that place, like he brought such a welcoming, and not just because
Great
it was
energy.
his store.
He'll educate you. Yo.
He wanted you to be on a better
Wanted
path.
you to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it was so welcoming.
You know what's crazy,
Like,
Lance? People still don't know. Like,
chill.
they don't know. Like that's the crazy thing. Like he was. I think he was a pioneer. I think they were talking about Black History. He needs to be in Black History
For sure.
in Springfield. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They should have put him on.
Need a mural. Yeah.
No, they should.
Preacher man out of there.
I mean, we were the first vegan restaurant.
Damn.
We were the first vegan restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, and I keep forgetting that, but we were the first vegan restaurant, which is something that, yeah, I'll say that. I
That's
don't ever-
historical.
Yeah.
No,
He
so they got
started
this
the
guy
first
who's doing
vegan
Flame on Vegan. You know what I'm saying? But that
Oh my
spawned
God.
from.
I'm confused.
I got a great question.
Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Didn't you just say that you won't drink beer, but vegans will drink beer?
He's not them.
He's not
Yeah.
that type of
He's
vegan.
alkaline.
it's a different level.
different
Did we
level.
not get to your level yet?
No.
Is that why
We're
I'm
not on his
confused?
level.
Exactly why.
Period.
No.
Now I'm not should break
So-
it down. Like we didn't get there yet.
This is
So I got a
Yarde.
question for you.
Like I'm confused.
There we go.
Frank got a question. It's gonna be good.
With the hand on the knee.
Come on, colonizer.
He's about to ask you. He's about to ask you about gravity. He's about to ask you about gravity.
So I've watched plenty of survivalist shows, right? Like, but
that's my
alone,
stuff.
alone, where they get
Yes.
dropped off,
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Vancouver Island with nothing, right? They ain't getting enough calories from plants.
100%.
They gots to. So if you're in that situation, what are you doing?
Well, one, I don't even think that they're consuming the plants at the capacity in which they need to because
Of course not.
Dude, that's
Hold on,
but it's all
slow down.
they're looking for.
No, that's not true.
Well, not
As soon
all
as
they're
they
looking
get
for, but-
there, they have a couple leaves and they immediately start looking for the meat.
Protein, Yeah.
Because
You got to know how to.
because they're-
But hold on, if you watch it, you'll see that a lot
Said
of
a
them
couple
aren't-
leaves.
Yeah.
Hold on, no, you can see that they're not getting enough fucking.
No, they're not even eating it no more. They literally just stop.
No, but that's all they actually end up eating is just plants,
They end up with,
and then
like,
they don't
berry
last,
stashes
and then
and
they
shit.
call out.
No, I never
Yes.
see that.
It happens
I see
almost
the book.
every
I
contestant.
You guys watch it,
Bro,
they get in the
I'm
free and
literally-
shit.
It's almost every contestant unless they get an injury or something.
Bro, they're literally sitting in the middle of the woods not eating.
Yeah, because
That's
they
impossible.
For as
lost
long as they
complete
can.
energy.
No, it's
You're
not
seeing
that.
days and days go by.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna tell you what I think it is because I don't know, right?
And then we're going to hear Justin.
These are actually meat eaters getting dropped into this environment.
Nah.
That's not
all of
him.
them. Not
So
all
hold
of
on.
them.
So okay, so that's a good
Yeah,
question.
some of them are
Could
only
you survive in
plant-based.
that?
No, they're not. They've never
no,
dropped
actually,
vegans.
yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they have.
Go
yeah.
ahead, Justin. What's your take on that?
Could
man?
you
I mean,
survive in
there's-
that?
I mean, I've went 7 days without food.
No, you were talking about.
Nah, we're talking a month.
90 days. You have to
90
survive.
days,
out here.
yeah.
No, okay, so you're gonna have to. This I don't try to get too sciencey. You know I'm trying to stop myself. So
No, go
first
ahead.
of all,
Let your shit
you have to know
go.
how to-
Sciencey.
You have to know how to forage. You're dropping people in Alaska. Duh.
There's not
during
no
the
plants
winter
out there.
There's only
But what happens
very-
if your plane crashed?
But yeah. So in those situations, we're talking extreme situations. I'm not gonna preach vegan.
You're biting into a fucking.
No, I
Give me that.
I just fuck with
it's
you.
risk and reward, right?
Yeah.
Risk and reward. I could end up with something that you see them with when they have their stomach viruses, and that could deplete me of all my nutrients.
Right.
And then I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I haven't ate meat in 8 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I ate, like, maybe I'd have to eat a piece of fish, but I'd be more apt to.
Wait, no, you're going to say no more.
Insect.
You said you'd eat a bit of fish. All right.
No, listen. I don't.
No, he said he did insect
I don't
before
promote.
that though.
I don't only promote vegan. I don't think I'm a health seeker. I'm not the people out here talking about vegan is the only way. That's stupid to me.
Yeah.
That's stupid. They don't have enough. No disrespect, but actually, we're on this show. So I'm
health isn't one size fits all.
Right.
Everybody's
Just be
different.
frank. This is
But I'm
perfect
just saying,
for
what's
you.
good for you might not be good for me or him
That's
or
what- that's-
him. You know what
that's
I mean?
what I'm telling
Everybody is different.
That's what I'm
Literally
telling
every
people.
body. You know what I mean? Like
I have a
physical
question.
body is different.
Do you think black people are?
Genetically different than white people.
Oh,
Yes.
we already know that's
Most definitely,
that's
yeah.
period,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you think that our bodies are more equipped to go through life
Yes.
the alkaline way or the vegan way
'Cause
as opposed to the carnivorous?
That's what I was gonna say. So the guy is talking from a Eurocentric view. He's
Right.
telling you to eat meat. His ancestors ate primarily meat because your winters are longer, your summers are shorter. So
Right.
the only thing is out there is to what? And so your DNA works in memory.
It
And so it
adapts to that.
remembers all your ancestors' traits. You know what I mean? So-
What about people like in the Amazon and shit like that?
Oh, they definitely eat meat, and that's why I tell you, if somebody asking me what's the best and the most healthiest diet, I always tell them if you're gonna consume meat, obviously we're not doing any farm raised meat. I would do what we call wild meat. You know what I mean? So
Right.
wild caught meats like your Venice, your turkey, your bison. Those are the highest quality meats. Eating those 2 times a week or 3 times a week in the form of liver, and then
But-
eating mostly plant based for the rest of your week. You're solid.
Because you're getting those vitamins and all
You're
that
getting
shit from
everything.
the liver.
You'll be fine.
Liver is everything.
Yeah.
So what do you what do you think about multivitamins?
They're trash,
Yeah.
garbage. Throw them away.
That's crazy because I just
I'm on the show, so I
I
gotta
just
go.
started. I dead just started taking one.
I've been taking.
want me to
Taking
go
one a
into
day,
it? I
men?
can't.
Now hold on, I want to hear this.
I do.
I dead just started taking one like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like
Yeah,
that.
throw it
Super
away.
pill.
Yeah. So it's called
the-
bioavailability, right? Whatever is in there has to be bioavailable, meaning your body has to, first of all,
Need it, right?
know how to break it down. So it can't be anything foreign. And second of all, whatever nutrient is in there, how much of their body is going to absorb it and how much is going to be wasted away. So by the
Valid
time,
point.
by the
Because my
time
piss
you
was
break
like
it
a
down-
highlighter.
I got to be honest with you. I
Dead ass,
probably, if
yo.
I really wanted to, could go all plant based. Except the only thing would be my exception would be the Impossible Burger from the BK. That would be my. I guess I get it with no cheese. Damn.
But isn't it vegan?
But you add bacon?
That's what I'm saying.
With the mayo
That's what I'm saying is that's
cooked on the same grill.
I have cross contamination.
I'd have to.
there, my friend.
100%.
I don't even care.
BK don't
you
clean
can
it.
little.
BK doesn't clean their grills properly. You know that's all. Like,
That's not it. Yeah,
Any
because they're
fast
just putting.
food.
Well, I think they put them on.
they don't get
separate
paid enough to
conveyors.
clean their grills.
They don't even
properly.
do them on
Absolutely.
grills. It's
Yeah.
conveyor.
It's the see
With the
That's just-
flame.
flame broil.
going.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
They got that.
like a
shit.
Toasting
toast
it
oven.
up and throwing
They're
it
just
on
sending
your
their shit through a
patty,
toaster oven, like whatever.
Yeah, but I think if as long as that would be allowed, because otherwise than that, like I said, I fucks with veggies.
Or you could just get the
No
high
pause.
quality-
Nope.
If you get the high quality meat though, you
Mm.
eat a bison, you feel like a
You feel like
Bison's
a
fire.
man.
Right.
I've done it. I'm like, yo.
Yo, it's different. But you know why? It's because I'll go sciencey because I'm acting like I'm talking. Like, so it's heme iron, right? The good heme iron. Like heme iron is the iron that's bioavailable. You absorb it really quick, right? And so the higher the quality of the meat, the better the heme iron is, and more absorbable it is because it doesn't come up with the fat from that cow that you ate and all the antibiotics, steroids and stuff like that. So when you first get that iron, you out here like, yo, it's almost like getting an infusion. Wow, like it's crazy. So that's why I tell people that you have to get wild game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're talking about me, yeah.
You ever seen the heard of the blueberry bear?
Not the rednecks are up.
No.
It's a bear that they hunt that only eats blueberries.
They hunt. They live this.
Where?
No, the guys hunt the bear that only eats the blueberry. Somewhere in the north. Yeah.
But
The
their
meat-
meat
the
is a
meat
different
is blue.
color
The
too.
meat is
Yeah, it's
blue.
blue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he's eating a lot. It's not the only thing he's eating.
No.
No,
This
that's
is a
what
no
they eat.
thing.
It really just
Blue,
eats
that's it.
naturally on its
I
own.
see.
99.9% of his diet is all blueberry. As soon as they cut it, the fucking meat is blue.
Wow.
That's the blueberry bear. So with that thought, I started thinking, I'm like, yo, I was a person not vegetarian or vegan if they're eating the meat that's all 100% vegetarian, right? Because that's not like eating an omnivore or eating a carnivore who's consuming meat. So when you're eating the meat, you're
Amongst
consuming
other
meat.
things.
You see what I'm saying? So if you eat a deer, I mean, the deer ain't eating no meat at all. So,
but their body is comprised of the flesh. So
it's comprised of the flesh.
Flesh is flesh.
But their diet isn't
compounded with.
They still sell it though.
All the elements needed that you would get from the plants itself, right?
So if you're talking technically,
right?
You still.
So now flip it. Imagine eating a gorilla.
I mean,
he gets he's like, yeah, you know how excited he got when he was like, imagine eating a gorilla.
I wouldn't be against it.
I started thinking that the reason why sheeple are sheeple is because they keep eating all these herded animals. You know what I mean? Like, eat some shit that's moving along.
Did you say sheeple?
Yeah.
Sheep people.
People moving in herds.
Yeah, sheep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like people are
multiple sheep.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Oh, I'm taking that one.
Sheep.
Never heard
That's
you gonna eat. If you eat meat,
anytime you classify,
alone.
Anytime you classify you're something, you're moving in a herd, technically speaking.
But there's animals that don't.
That's true too.
So eat them.
Yeah. So catfish is out.
I mean, deer don't move in a herd.
Diet next to the goat.
Yeah, next to the goat. You got to keep the goat.
to the goat.
We love Billy.
All right, tomorrow I'm gonna go try gorilla. I guess. I don't know.
You know, it's fucked up. Wildly speaking, pork is wild with boar.
Yeah,
Boar's head.
Boar and you got pig.
What you eating?
No, I do.
It's not a pig though.
I'll probably die.
It's different.
That's the one. Like, I don't know.
But it's too.
Busting
I've had
Who's
boar.
hunting a boar?
Boar.
Who's hunting a boar?
Say if
I've
it
had
was you.
boar.
In the Amazon,
not.
but
If it was
it's very dangerous.
They'll
Even
hunt you.
Oh, yeah.
because the
Yeah.
pygmy
Oh, I know.
people in the Congo, they hunt boar, but it's like they do it like when there's nothing else because it's that dangerous.
Yeah.
And they've been living in the Amazon since the beginning of time.
Fucking throw a grenade.
Like,
I've had
I
boar.
saved the leg.
I've had boar. I've had bear.
boar?
I've had boar. I've had bear. I've had kangaroo. I've had gator.
You've had
Gator.
kangaroo?
I have
What that
kangaroo.
tastes like?
Straight
I've had
Viking.
pheasant.
Kangaroo.
I've had pheasant.
I've had
Okay.
pheasant.
I've had deer. I've had all type of fish, shellfish. I think that's about it. I never had no snake or nothing like that.
boar.
I've never
I
had
would be
snake either.
very intrigued to see how.
I had boar once in my life, and this is talking about it being dangerous. So the reason I had boar, my uncle Faustino, my dad's the Swedish side. He was Portuguese. He hunted, like that was his thing, and he always hunted with a fucking sidearm for that exact reason. And this is how he got that boar.
Where?
He was he used to go out in New York and all over like other countries, all type of shit. Like this was his thing.
Oh, he's
Because
one
boar
of them.
is
So hold on. So
he's one of
listen. So listen. So my guy,
that family.
my guy was hunting deer. My guy was hunting. What the fuck was he hunting? Bear, and a boar came at him, and he ended up shooting.
I have to
shit
know where
save
this
his
is
own
at.
life, yo. I don't know where he's dead now.
R.I.P. to that man.
That's crazy.
I would want to.
He killed the boar. And he was like, "Yo, I didn't get the bear, but I got some boar. We can have." I was like fucking 10 years old or something.
That's even 10 times better than a bear. I feel like a boar is more dangerous. They're horns and they're quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
yo,
bear's
he
fast,
said
but-
the shit was running at him. He was just like, "Bow!" Like he had no choice.
Yeah,
He was like, "So I got boar."
I had boar, but I didn't get a backstory. I was at like I was just booked for like this private party, like to do a fucking music performance, and it was a hunting thing.
Caucasians.
And yeah, it was primarily all white people.
Of course.
So that
You
there
didn't
was
have to say
actually there was like a couple that
Sprinkled.
that were
A little pepper.
even though
Just a smidge.
even the color of them, you could tell they were peppered. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I fucking did the performance, and they're like, eat, and I got a chance to eat boar, bear, which I had already eaten bear before, but I also got a chance to taste alligator.
How did you get the bear?
How did the
like
gator-
a burger?
I got it in a chili.
Oh, see, I literally had like a yogi burger.
Oh shit!
Like straight meat, yo. Made a burger out
Pause.
of that shit.
That's dope.
Pause.
A yogi burger is crazy.
That's what we were calling it.
Hey, boo boo.
I actually didn't really care for bear all that much. It was like
Bear wasn't good. Too gamey.
it was gamey and like almost.
More than
I
Venice?
like
I feel like it's almost kind of like irony.
That's how I feel about
yeah.
venison. I can't.
Yeah.
Venison's good as hell.
It's
But
gamey.
venison's got a gamey flavor
It
to it.
does.
You gotta like that.
I do like venison though. I've had venison a lot of different ways. I've had it in chops and fucking chili and
Nah, but the gator's good.
Gator's good, but you got to get it fresh off the grill. Otherwise, it gets tough as shit.
Yep.
At least in my experience.
Yep. Yeah,
Gator's great.
definitely.
Because we had that shit too when I used to work at Belize, at Chevy right there in Columbus.
They just had gator available?
Yo, their service manager, anytime they would hit goals, this dude would fry up a bunch of steaks and alligator because he was from Texas, and deep fry a bunch of fries. And we literally, these cuts of steaks were fucking humongous.
Of gator?
No.
Oh.
That was just like little side
You've had
pieces.
snake?
Nah, snake's the only thing I've never eaten before.
Yeah, I've never had snake either.
Not the only thing, but
I'm not eating a snake. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I would try it.
Sad.
I mean, I feel like I would just to
I'd
say
eat
I
snake
tried it
if I needed to survive.
It's a hard no.
I'd fucking
Nah, I think I would try it.
That's a hardy. Yeah, I don't know if that I could.
It depends on how it's prepared, I
I'm
guess.
insect
Don't
down.
tell me it's snake.
Like,
You
I'm
eat
not
an
having
insect?
snake sushi.
Insects, yeah.
I'd rather eat the insects.
Yeah,
But like in some chili or something, I might do it.
So have
on
you
the-
ever eaten like a scorpion or a cricket or?
We had crickets. I don't know where they went. We were supposed to bust some crickets down.
Crickets.
Remember, they disappeared.
Oh, they probably
We
got
never ate them.
thrown away.
I'm all
I
set.
think they got thrown away.
I'm not eating no bugs. I don't care how desperate I get.
I'll eat the shit out of bugs if I have to.
Yeah.
You got
I'll eat-
6
I'll
legs
eat-
and you crawling somewhere. I'm all
My
set.
stepdad said he learned to do that shit in the military.
Yo,
I'd be like throwing them up.
grasshoppers down.
My stepdad
That's
said
what I'm
they taught him to
interested
eat maggots in the military.
Because they do it in
For-
Ghana like crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't no damn maggot in the
Bust a
military.
grasshopper right on down.
Ain't no way.
Now.
A maggot. Not in the military. I'll eat.
Throw
It tastes good season too.
About to order
That's
it.
what he said. He
Put
was in
some little
Vietnam and
cayenne
shit. He said
pepper
they
on that
taught him
bad
to
boy.
cayenne
Pepper.
pepper.
Here I'm
Maybe
popping.
some maple
water.
syrup, like
Yeah.
just
Water.
spicy.
Sweet and spicy is crazy.
Sweet and
Water
spicy. Hell yeah.
Water diet.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little cinnamon.
I've had
Some
scorpion-
thyme.
Sugar.
I do it all the time.
I've had scorpion though. Scorpion's digestible. It's good.
He said it's digestible.
Digestible.
Yeah, I've never had that.
It's
shit.
not
That's
bad.
crazy.
You know,
What it
it's
tastes like? Chicken?
it's like a terrible potato chip. It's
shit.
Do you guys don't like fucking suck the poison out their stingers?
Pause.
no what? You was
This
waiting
is a
for that
great
one.
question to ask
You
him.
did that one on purpose.
Would he save his son?
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Yes.
Dun dun dun.
What I
Him or him?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
how long how
I already know where you're
Nah,
going.
I already destroyed this question because what the fuck are you doing getting bit there by a fucking venomous animal? Like,
how
All right,
good
so
how
hold on.
Anybody
Here's the
happen?
question.
Could be camping.
Here's
Nah,
the
fuck
question.
outta here.
You out camping with your son?
Yeah.
Did you answer this question?
Yeah,
did.
we did this a few episodes back, so definitely go back and watch those.
I'm like, well, I guess I got to make another.
Your son,
Love
you
your
guys
son.
are out camping, right? He gets bit on his genital
owl, yeah.
area, right? And the only way to save him is to suck out the poison from his phallus.
His
Are
faucet.
you saving
Okay.
your son?
It's my son.
It's
Yeah.
your son.
Oh, you don't have kids, right?
No, I don't have no kids.
And this is for both of y'all because we already answered way back.
If I'm doing well in life where he lived a good life, like I have another one.
We gave it a shot.
It's gonna be another son and a lot of alcohol for me. Loved you to death.
literally.
Not, yeah.
I think it would matter.
I'll have a.
I'm not answering the question, but
You
I
have
am
to
gonna
answer.
say-
You
I am
have
You
gonna
have to
say-
answer.
I'm
bro.
gonna say that it matters if it's my son's a year and a half.
So
Yeah,
the
Oh,
age
so
matters
yeah,
to you?
like
So if it's
Alright,
year
your
and a half,
son
just let him
Your
go.
son's 10.
If it's baby dick, it's okay. You know, if it's any larger,
Or how do you know?
Or
it's
are you
going that
saying
way?
let him
What if
go
he
because
said-
he's a year and a half?
That's what I was
right,
gonna
baby.
say.
He's like, it's only a year and a half. I'll make another one.
you know. More importantly, like
It ain't that long.
what if you do it and it doesn't matter and your son still died? Like,
At least you tried.
see, I
right?
think that question was brought up
but like
last
your
time,
son
too, if I'm
died
not
and you
mistaken.
still like,
Yeah.
Sucked
you know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Like that's interesting to think about.
But you're not doing it.
You could
for
say
him.
you tried.
yourself out. We
You
gonna
could
you
say
like
you
I
tried.
tried,
Right.
but you
Yeah,
still like.
But you still did it because that's like saying,
oh, yeah,
I'm going much.
I
We're
snitched
dying
because
together.
you still snitched.
What
bro.
do you
live
do?
with myself. Either way.
What do you do if someone tells you?
In the hood?
Nah, I remember how we ended. We'd take both of our lives.
That's what I said. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, we not.
What you doing, Mr. Yard?
I'm taking my life. You know what I mean? Because I'm just it's just some things you don't know what.
Even if he's only a year and a half?
Yeah, I mean, you're like there's a lot of other factors because I'm with my wife. So, honey,
You're overthinking it.
Yo, honey, this is you.
Yo.
What if she
So
was
what does
like,
that
well,
say?
we'll make another one.
Are you with
You
that if
gotta
she says that? What are you doing if she's like, well, we can make another one?
I think a mom's gonna do it.
A mom's gonna do it.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
think a mom's gonna
instinct.
do it too.
You know what I mean? And there's certain things we do as I know your father.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's certain things you do like
that's not
you
one
know
of
what's
them?
funny though? My daughter means like I love my children
princess.
equally.
She's your
it's
princess.
crazy.
Yeah.
Your I don't know if y'all feel the same way about your daughters. It's like
Dads love their girls.
I got a boy
way
and a girl and girls.
more.
I got
it's not
girls.
love your more. It's a weird. It's such a craziest connection. It's like you like the love is just way
Daddy's
different.
girls is a real thing.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but my son has had health issues. So like since he was born, you know what I mean? Eczema, just only eczema. But that's the one thing that's like, so seeing him in those declines and ups and downs and stuff like that, if I could answer that question without answering it, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's just, I've seen my son at his worst and I see my daughter at her worst. Nah, not really, but my son. So like seeing that, yeah, I don't know.
You don't know if you can handle that.
Do you guys do like oatmeal baths? Like he soaks in the tub?
Yeah, we did everything.
Yeah.
What we realized is, to be honest, that doctors don't know enough about
They don't know
nutrition.
shit. Yeah.
And I say this on this show because I don't say it on my Instagram because I don't want people to think doctors know a lot.
They do.
Let me preface that. People be like, oh, they don't know. You see all these stupid people that doctors don't know anything. No, doctors just don't know nutrition. They have 2 hours of nutrition for the 8 years of medicine that they're doing. So we realized that with his eczema, it was his exposure to certain things. And now one of the things is where we're living, so we have to go dip.
Have you guys tried a blood type diet?
I don't see the validity in that.
No?
Nah.
Why not?
Because your blood type has nothing to do. You have a different blood type than your mother, right? But your diet is going to be similar to your mother's, because actually what makes you really healthy, or what you can eat in accordance to your microbiome, which is basically your gut bacteria. You should eat in accordance to that more so than anything else, and balancing those out more than the blood type.
How do you figure?
You can go to stool. You could do a stools test. You
Really?
go to a lab and you get a stool test, and they'll tell you what you're missing or what you need to increase, because you have microbiome on your skin.
Right.
Most of your body is comprised of microbiome, which doctors don't know enough about.
Can you eat nuts as a vegan?
Pause.
Hello.
Was that
Because someone said
Legumes,
I thought
yep.
they said something about what do you guys do for protein?
for protein? I mean, legumes
Beans,
like
beans,
chickpeas,
yeah.
black beans. The list goes
Yeah,
on.
There's either
chickpeas.
beans or nuts that were bad for protein.
So,
You said
yeah,
beans are bad for protein?
Yeah, it was either one of those, both of those. I can't remember, but
there's sides to there's bads to both of them. Like cashews are mucus forming, very low
I
key.
fucking
Really?
love cashews too.
And almonds have a lot of arsenic.
Cyanide.
Cyanide, sorry.
Yeah, I
I
don't
Cyanide,
fucking
I'm
love
sorry.
almonds.
I don't really love
Yeah.
I eat
almonds so
almonds all
much.
day.
But in moderation, they're not really a
I
problem.
like chestnuts.
I actually don't
Do
really
you?
eat those.
I've eaten chestnuts before.
I think
Have you?
that's northeast.
You gotta use a nutcracker.
I think so.
I OD'd on
Too much work.
almonds
It's
recently.
way too much work.
It is what it
And
is.
something
They're good as
happened
shit.
below, like coming out, that was crazy.
Wait, what?
I had a little bit of.
I ate too
A
many
poop shoot?
almonds, and it was like, I don't know, my digestive system was like trying to push it all out at once, some shit like that, and that shit
Hit
created
you like a brick?
I went to the bathroom, and then it felt like
A log was coming out.
it felt like I still had to go. So now I'm there, and I just keep pushing, and nothing was happening, and it
Just
took a
keep
while
pushing.
to be able to like, pass it. So I haven't ate almonds since.
Yeah. Because Dr. Sabi took it off at the last minute.
He did. He got that shit smooth out of here.
He was like, because he did a testing. Like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Because other
Yeah.
people was gonna, people were gonna find out, because he did lab testing. Dr. Sabi did lab testing on the food. So when you do the lab testing, you're gonna see, you can do the alkaline acidic balance. You can do a lot of phytochemicals that might be in there. You can go crazy. And so he don't tell no. The thing about Dr. Sabi is, Dr. Sabi never told you the science. So people thought he was just mumbo jumbo. Scott was wildly intelligent. Like the stuff that he should have won a Nobel Peace Prize, because the stuff that he is talking about, and this is science. I don't really talk from my hopefully you know me. I don't just be like this. No, I talk about like research articles and stuff like that. So one of the biggest things that's coming up now that they're not going to talk about, but the NRF2 pathway, long story short, is a pathway that you can initiate in your body to help you heal on the cellular level without using white blood cells. White blood cells make you sick, basically. It's why you get sick. So it doesn't use white blood cells. It just uses like antioxidant. It's
Really?
the antioxidant system of the cell, because the cell, that's what the cell uses to actually kill off disease and infirmity inside the cell.
So does that mostly stem from like fruit based?
Yeah, not only fruits. You know what I mean? You got they say if people are watching this, they're gonna research this. They'll be like, broccoli is one of the highest cruciferous vegetables.
Even if it's hybrid.
Yeah, because real broccoli, wild broccoli is ridiculously healthy.
Where it's small at the top and the long ass stem. Yeah.
Stupid healthy, like ridiculously healthy.
So is that like broccolini?
It's that.
Yeah.
That's the better version of broccoli.
It's usually everything starts off like little. It's like avocados. You don't want them giant avocados.
Yeah.
You want little ass avocados.
That is actually true.
Here.
On many different levels.
Yeah.
Like even like.
Wait a minute.
But even like for instance, and this is opposite of what you're talking about, but I used to work at Friendly's, right? And they had the big ass colossal cheeseburger. They had the big burger that was the square one, and then they had the little fucking
Slider
smaller
joints.
ones. Weren't even sliders yet. This is back in the day.
Oh, okay.
They're smaller cheeseburgers, yo. They were fucking banging, like they were mad good compared to the large ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it was, them shits were just.
That's like the Welch's juice back in the days.
Yeah.
When it came in a little glass bottle.
was
Now that
so
shit
good.
does not taste the same.
Not at all.
He was like, if you don't get this out of here.
You know about that? You ever seen the grape juice in the glass?
I have.
You have?
I've seen apple juice in the
But when
glass.
it
I've seen-
came small,
Small,
like you couldn't even get it in
Yeah.
a large capacity. It just didn't exist.
I ain't never seen that before.
Yo, so I was raised with my grandparents. Right?
Oh, that's why.
Who are
Okay,
coming from Jamaica.
that makes
So this
sense.
is
All
already,
right, so
like,
you're
you know
raised.
what I'm saying?
So what do you?
Yeah.
So what about your children? Like, what kind of diet are they on?
They're plant based, man. The key for me is getting as much nutrients. So they're right now. I made sweet potatoes before I left and chickpeas.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have that, but I'm trying to bulk my kids up, to be honest, because you know how it is going to
Wait,
the doctor.
but how'd you cook the chickpeas?
You mean?
Like you just like stewed it down,
Yes.
curried it, or like,
you know.
I'm not a big
you
chickpea
want
fan.
okay? Yeah, no, I curried it. You didn't mean
you curried it.
Yeah,
Curried
but
chickpeas is good as fuck, but you can't get me to eat hummus. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't like
it's
hummus.
that shit is nasty.
Man, so
Hummus
you'll never
avocado
fuck with a
sandwiches,
poke
right?
bowl, huh?
What's that?
Poke.
Oh man, it's so
like
good,
Asian
dude. It's
shit.
rice with like you could put
raw
either raw
tuna,
fish,
raw salmon.
You don't-
or
but you
you
don't
can do chicken.
I don't think he does rice.
You can
I think
do
you only
chicken,
do
shrimp.
black rice, right?
Yeah, I do like quinoa black rice.
Oh man, I do that shit
Yeah.
with jasmine rice. Oh
Yeah.
I fucking
See, alkaline, you can't do no white rice and brown.
Can't
Or
do-
brown.
really.
Nah.
Brown rice is white rice. So let's stop the BS, people.
Oh, word.
It's gotta be
You taught me something. Right
gotta
there,
be.
bro.
Hopefully, I'm doing something.
black and red.
Taking it in, man.
What if you at least decided to keep that in your life? Is that a horrible thing?
You can do what you
Well,
want, but eating
you want.
alkaline.
But if you ask me
you can
this,
still eat some alkaline shit though, right? It's not like
yeah, but if you're asking me
You're
if you
talking
want to
about being
heal
complete.
yourself, that's a different question. Like if you're really asking me, like, yo, I want to heal myself from a chronic disease and ailment rather than an acute one, like, then there's a whole different conversation, whole different level of eating and sun and earth and all that stuff like that. That's proven too. So it's not. That's a different conversation than like being vegan and vegetarian and pescatarian and all that stuff.
yeah. Is it all right? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna hit a break, and then when we come back, you're gonna stick around with us.
Settle back in.
Yeah. What'd you say?
So Brandon's like it settle back in.
Should never left, brother.
Yeah, what the hell, man. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. You know, I got a song, gonna prank call, whatever, keep y'all busy as we hit the head and all that good stuff. And we'll come back and I want to play Get the F Out of Here. You know, Get That the F Out of Here. If you guys remember that game. So what that is you pick one thing that, like, fuck you. If you didn't exist, I can give two shits.
White people.
Get that
That's
shit.
always
out.
my answer.
Wow.
White
It's
Well,
not.
no, that was a different
It's
thing.
not what.
Colonized.
It's not if you. No.
That
It's not
was-
if you wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
It's,
I know.
It's if like
She keeps trying.
people. Regardless, we're getting rid of y'all
like
motherfuckers.
Demi Moore,
I'm
get
sorry.
her the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Or something. Like to me, not Demi Moore though. I love Demi Moore, but just using
A white bitch. A white bitch.
Damn.
she's a hot chick. I like plenty of black chicks too.
Oh, hello.
All right.
Yo, Megan Fox. Was it Megan
She is
Fox
not
and
black.
Megan Fox is dope.
that-
You could get her the fuck out of here.
Yeah, her as
Smooth
an
out here,
actor,
too.
but
I thought she was
Like on
white.
the first thing smoking.
She's white.
She is white.
Yeah, with
Yeah, she's
with
banging
Machine
out
Gun
here.
Kelly,
Yeah,
they
she's
drinking
white.
blood
Him
and
too.
shit. We gotta
Together.
go.
You
Y'all
can put them in a
gotta
little
go.
is
box and
banging.
get both of them the fuck out.
she is banging. I will split her shit over.
I'm sure you would.
Megan
Motherfucking
Fox.
railing out in public. I'm
You
like,
let her drink your blood?
Nah, she is way too skinny. She's like pretty here, and then that's it.
All right, more to
You
come after
playing.
this break, yo. Just being frank.
yeah, fuck
And the
that
guys.
shit. I'm talking about Megan Fox. I'm fucking,
Jesus Christ.
Nah, we're going to break. We'll be right back, motherfuckers.
To the
Where the cops at? I'm serving till the clock's crack. See me on the block, 20 rocks up in my socks hat. Yeah. 20 rocks up in my socks hat. You not a germ to me, I'm sicker with the surgery. I strong arm the game like bitch, you mustn't have heard of me. Me and Black moving, I know you taking it personally. Cause y'all used to hate, now it's some weight to get a verse from me. Y'all whacker than all rappers combined first. Jaw tapping, I saw action back when I rhymed worse. My raw faction is all passion and wine thirst. You grind perks and sniff them through your nose until your spine jerks. But I don't judge that though. I lost many, know I wish that they could come back, bro. I'm unmatched. Even in unmatched clothes, I done that. Now let's see how far this comeback grows. Aiming, I shoot now. Probably sprayed, laying your group down. You ain't the same gang, I bang things and regroup now. See the range, change lanes, I'm in the coupe now. Had to switch, it's like a magic trick. Let the roof down. Talking reckless, let the deuce line 'em. I'm in the streets just like a used condom.
Them
Let's
pistol
go.
cockers wanna squeeze on black head like Dr. Pimple Popper, Smith Sinatra. Stand up, nigga. You need to fix your posture or get clipped. Blick grip. Smith giving offers. Heads lost. Red sauce looking like lava with some lobster. Sprinkle cheese on your noodle. I'm literally whipping pasta. Flip your roster. Jamaican my temper short as midget rosters. A visionary, nigga. This my office. Platforms and trophies on the wall, y'all. It's a sawfish. Your shit's a crawfish. I fucked your bitch. This shit was garbage. A little smelly, so the kid was nauseous. And I could tell she gets abortions. Cause when she comes, she squirts little orphans and ripped up little portion. I can't proceed with the caution. Stop comparing lifestyle, upgrade your wife style. Pick up a broom and put the mic down. Nigga, right now, your crib dirty, the walls sweat, and make the mic sound. This the type of shit that I ain't gotta write down. How's being the victim of my knife sound? Well, then pipe down for the details. Have you looking at me like I was Chopper Reed? I stop and squeeze and stand over the body just to watch it bleed. Hit Facebook, dropping philosophies from Socrates. While your shorty blowing me just like a tropic breeze. Snot just streamed out on her face and she did not just sneeze. Working out, looking good, I should chop the sleeves and get to flexing like broccoli steamed, nigga. Yeah, we get to flexing like broccoli steamed.
Hello?
This is the guest in 116.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Carl down at the front desk. We got a call and a complaint that you were taking all the ice out of the machine and throwing it at people that were walking by.
No, that's wrong. That is wrong.
Because a couple of people said they seen you specifically walk into your room, sir.
No.
I
I ain't been doing that.
You did not grab any ice at any point.
No, I ain't been here all day.
You didn't try and put it down any girl's shirt, anything like that?
Lord, no.
Well, why is there
I
a
ain't
trail
been
of...
here all day.
There's been a trail of ice cubes leading to your door, my sir.
I haven't done it. I ain't been here all day, man.
Would you be willing to take a lie detector test if necessary?
Yeah, I haven't been here all day. I've been out at Troy out there on 29 out there at my buddy's pond fishing. I left there and went to my brother's house.
What'd you catch?
I ain't catching nothing. I caught one on a little bluegill and threw it back.
I'm about to say you weren't using the ice to pack anything you caught?
No.
Okay.
I bought a bag of ice. I bought a bag of ice this morning up there at the pit stop.
Okay, not here at our facility? Not here at our facility?
No, I ain't even been to the ice machine here.
Just so I can clear this up, sir, would you be willing to take a breathalyzer test to the phone?
A what now?
Breathalyzer test. We can do it right here on the phone. That way I can clear this up and let you get back to resting.
How do you mean you do it on the phone?
Easily. What you're going to have to do is just blow into the phone and you want to hit *67.
Really?
Correct. All you have to do is blow for 15 seconds, and then I can clear this up, let you get back to rest, sir.
Star 67.
Correct. You must blow first.
Is this some kind of joke or something?
No, sir. I'm trying to get on with my night. I have to clean up my whole station down here and make sure everything's prepped up for the next shift.
Where are you at, in Troy?
I'm right down at the front desk, sir.
You're down at the front desk.
Correct. Yeah, he's giving me trouble. I just want to get on.
This guy is?
Yeah. Sir, can we just wrap this up, please?
Yeah.
Breathalyzer test?
All right, so you ready? Just 10 seconds, press star 67, excuse me, and then we can wrap this up and I can stop harassing you.
So dial star 67 first? Okay, I'm trying to find out how to do this.
Yep, go ahead. Yep, star 67 first, then blow.
Okay.
Can't believe you just did that, sir.
All right, for doing that, sir, and for being a nice guest and playing along, we're going to go ahead and comp your night for the next 2 nights. How's that sound, sir?
Hell, okay.
Yep, just kidding. Not really.
Yeah.
You're getting kicked out.
We do.
The Chinese is one.
Whoa.
Welcome to the end.
I'm saying we're back on air. That's all I'm saying.
Yo.
She was like,
our currency is gone, y'all. Y'all realize that shit?
All of us are bad.
Whatever. You know what? At the end of the day,
there we go. Not all of us are bad.
Listen, at the end of the day, no matter what the currency is, no matter what the currency is, I'm gonna hustle. So it can change the digital, it can change the physical goods.
But when your cash has no value, what the fuck are you doing?
My cash is digitized.
Yo, even though my beer's gluten-free,
all my cash
still bad.
is digitized anyways. All my assets, everything. The only thing that doesn't exist digitally. The only thing that doesn't exist digitally, right, for me, at least, and I guarantee a lot of you, right, because all your credit, that's all digital. Everything you have in the bank that you use your ATM or your bank account to pay with is all digital. So that's what it's turning into. Like, I don't really fuck with paper money for that much, besides, like, what I save for emergencies, shit, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's all turned in your Amazon account, all that shit.
So hold on. Do you think it's ironic, right, that the owner of Cash App got poked up, stabbed up, dead, gone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then we roll out, what is it called? Fed?
I actually didn't know that.
Some shit, yeah.
Fed what? What are you talking about? You tell me something.
I didn't know that either.
That I don't know about.
I think it's called.
Oh, you know about the Cash App, dude?
I heard something, but I didn't
like 2 nights ago. It was like 2 nights ago. He got
get that
stabbed in an alley.
$600 limit until you tell the IRS the F out of
Hold on. I love a conspiracy theory as much as the next person, right? But at the end of the day, no one knows what the fuck he got stabbed over.
I don't think think it's conspiracy.
nothing to do
I don't
with
think
that
it's
shit.
ironic that
Stabbing
he
is
gets stabbed up and then we roll out our
He
own
was
version
rich
of
from the-
Cash App.
He's in a whole different.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But rich people
Look
don't
it
get
up,
stabbed
brother.
like that, bro.
Yeah, they
I know
can
about
get
him getting
stabbed.
stabbed, but I don't know about
the
Spousal.
non-powerful
One at a
ones.
time, one at a
the ones
time.
that are sloppy with their money.
Spousal situations, you see people get stabbed.
Yeah, who knows, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Getting yoked up is different.
That man died at 40-something years old.
That's
The owner of Cash App.
Yeah, he could
poked up.
But he could also been a fucking gambling
That's
motherfucker
cool,
like that.
But
All in types
you know what I'm
of debt
saying?
with the
I don't
wrong
think it's
people.
ironic
Not for stabbing.
that he.
What came out as a
the government then has installed. I think it's called Fed Now, and I may be incorrect with the name, but it's our version of Cash App, the U.S. version.
There's no way I will ever
Cash
use
App.
So wait a minute. So
Because
Cash App
we're trying to
doesn't
only go
work right
digital because our currency no longer matters.
Sick.
That shit was 3 days ago that they put out this thing. Like, okay, in 3 days, the BRICS people, blah, 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 is going to turn everything over to the yen, the Chinese yen. So now Russia, right, is moving off of the yen, no longer the dollar. The dollar does not have any value anymore.
What?
On the global scheme.
What?
Look it up, man. Look it up.
Look it up. See, this is what
I just
I'm
made
big
a lot
on.
of money. I'm gonna be very upset if
Look it up
my shit
where?
don't matter.
This
Look
is
it up.
new.
Everywhere. Anywhere.
Which I agree.
I'm
because
getting the content everywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm big on I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying at the end of the day, I don't think people understand one thing though. They don't understand how much each other's economy depends on each other's success throughout the whole world.
So that's why everybody's trying to take over Africa, right? And they're trying to make connections with Africa.
But it may move into a scenario as other countries become the more powerful than us, right? But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean they want to fucking crash us because we're one of their number one fucking consumers.
Everyone wants to crash us.
But listen, they don't really though. When it really boils down to it, no one wants to rule over ash. Right, so if they take us out, and while we're still a heavy active market or a portion of their market, they will crash. If we crash, they will crash. Do you understand? Like
not if they transfer over prior to.
No, but we're still such consumers.
Interdependence.
We're still consumers. This shit really is all a corporate war, and when it really boils down to it, that's the level we really don't understand or think about. We think about country this ruling and that. Now they're all battling over fucking territory and who's going to consume this and get this fucking plant here and who's going to get this mine here like that. I don't know.
I tell you this much, right? I've been to a decent part of the world, in my opinion, mostly in the Middle East. Everything but in America is negotiable.
Yeah, please, would you? Is that someone we know or is it random? Whatever.
I
think the cops are here.
Why would the cops be here? He told me he wasn't a cop.
Oh, so this is your fault.
He said he does this all the time.
Military police.
But
He said I do this all the time. I swear I'm not a
listen,
cop.
I did my service. I just came home. They can't come get me for nothing.
Right. Are you re-enlisting?
Yeah, I've been in currently for 8 years. I've been in for a good amount of time.
How many? You said 8?
8.5 years. So I've done my time. This is my third tour home. But so this is what I'm gonna tell y'all this. Everything but in America is negotiable. Mm-hmm. Anything that like so when I was out there, this is what people really used to say. This is what I used to get. Money's not real,
brother.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Money's not real. Like you trade for what you think the value of something is, right? So I could trade my pants for somebody's hoodie as long as they think it's equal value trade. Mm-hmm. That's just what it's always been. You know what I mean? Like, and money is not, everything is negotiable outside of the U.S. And that's what
well, everything's negotiable in the U.S. too. Everything's negotiable.
To a point, but they're so damn stubborn over here and so spoiled. It's just like, it's hard.
Oh, okay. When you talk
they
about,
don't want to give up.
You say they like you're not one of us.
Citizens of America.
Yes, I am. But it's like, I've been around so much.
He
like,
sold his soul
outside that it's just like what are we doing? Like, because Canada got like free healthcare, like everywhere
Canada
else
has free health.
everywhere. Like I said,
do. Dead ass.
They do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everywhere else, like people are they're just trying to feed their families everywhere you go. You know what I mean? Right. We're talking about like Haiti earlier, Cape Verdeans. Like, as long as they can make a profit during that day, They don't. As long as they can break even or make $1 or $2 above of what they're doing, they're gonna do it. They're not gonna be like, nah, this is enough.
Who owns the Cape Verdean island? Right.
No, so they're colonizers.
Yeah, who's their colonizer? Is what I'm asking in a nice, pretty way, right?
Portugal.
See,
I didn't know that.
But we're owned by something bigger, right? So what is Portugal subscribing to?
Portugal has been trying to enslave the world. Like,
yeah, that ain't new.
They also have bought up a lot of ocean territory.
Well, that's the game right now.
So a lot of people don't know that, right? That
purchasing
because there's a lot of underwater resources,
I'm
right?
all set.
In reality, there's more sea-covered resources than there is land.
It's easier. So what happens via country is it's harder to get natural resources. Obviously, you have to start economic dysfunctions and unrest, and you got to send this person, that person. With the oceans, 300 miles off of anybody's coast is free land.
So when you buy little islands.
Yeah, and so that's what people have. I mean, that's going to be the biggest problem. Because I just was hearing something like, how do you think the world will end? And somebody was like, how it will end was like by humans. But
I believe that.
We're drilling way too much. We're going too hard. Like, we're going way too hard. We're tapping in way too much. Way too much.
I think, at the end of the day, though, we're going to get to a point where I feel like the Earth will almost correct itself before it will allow.
You know what that means, though, right?
Oh yeah, we're gone.
Right.
Reset this whole.
That's it. It's an extinction level event.
We're gone.
Yeah,
that's what that means.
That's
talking
easy.
about getting something the fuck out of here.
I have a question.
Humans are garbage.
Mr.
That's
Yarde,
Earth's answer.
Do you think the Earth is flat?
I don't even get into that conversation. I don't, because I don't know enough.
What's gravity?
That's physics, and physics is fire.
Gravity is
physics is fire. But you can't even. You know why people can't even go into that conversation?
Because they're dumb.
Exactly. No, not even the scientists. They're just learning about metaphysics just now. Like, so, and that's the galaxy is metaphysics. That's like physics, and like everything's upside down. So you can theorize the whole time. That's all you're gonna do.
The fucked up shit, right, is that we're getting into the metaverse, like where in the next 10 years, the metaverse is going to be where a lot of our life might possibly start existing more in the metaverse than anywhere else.
We're in the metaverse, though. We're not. We're in the metaverse right now.
The metaverse is like pretty much imagine this, what we're living in now, but there's someone that's out of you controlling you. You know what I'm saying?
We're living in that now.
So your consciousness could be that. Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people believe, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, none of us can fucking prove it. We can only theorize.
All right. So, but in the sense of this, right? We are living digitally, right? One of the best examples is if somebody says, "Where have you been at?" and you were like, "Well, what do you mean?" He was like, "I haven't seen you on Facebook." That's the metaverse. Yeah. Now there's levels to everything. But nobody says that to me. So
at the end of the day, though, but the metaverse now that they're characterizing is like evolving to the next level. So whereas you will control a whole person and you'll walk to whatever game you're going to go play, and you're like how you play a PlayStation.
No,
you're going to go walk to that room and play that game and hop in, and you're going to be doing this all like in a VR style scenario. So once you get to that level, like, what do you think it gets to from there? Then you're in this one thing where you lay down and you don't even move at all. It's not VR no more like that. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're going to be a pod that exists in some physics.
We're seeing the effects of that in kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I've been saying.
We're seeing that
you eventually get to this where you think you're real and you're not. You eventually get to this.
Your
That's
persona
why I keep saying
doesn't line up.
You don't know where we are on the scale.
Everything is
because they put
I don't disagree with you with it.
No, you did last time.
Well, but how can you be alkaline if you're not real?
My only argument, I felt.
How do these things matter? If we're in a digital, it's recreated, whatever. It's a matrix. It's programming. Then how the fuck can you be healthy?
First of all,
how can you be healthy?
First of all, this is called Mother Earth, right? Mm-hmm. The matrix is Ma's tricks.
Okay.
Right? So even if it isn't what it is, the divine is giving you the coding right there in front of you. The fact that we have language the way it is, and you could break and use the etymology of words and encode and decode, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's programming.
Yeah.
We have social security numbers. We're broken down by cosmic math. Like everything is a program. Ones and zeros. Binary code is man and woman. You have the womb, that's a circle. You have the one, that's a fucking penis, the phallus, right? You put them together, you get on and off. Like all this shit is given to us from the divine. It's a fucking program. If y'all don't get that, I don't like.
Because you're saying it because you say it in a way that it's a lot of loose ends there.
So my main, this is my main shit, right? That my mind always has a problem with. I know in reality we don't really fucking know. We don't know whether
what is reality.
I understand. I don't know what reality is.
Your reality is your perception of reality. But your reality is whatever your reality is.
The only thing I feel is I feel like we are the first time that it's going to happen. I don't feel like it's necessarily already happened. That's what I don't know if I can believe in because I don't know. I don't really know the truth.
100%. But I think that's where, like, and a part of what people are doing now is you hear about meditation, mindfulness, right? That cool, crazy.
I can't meditate is my problem.
Yes, you can. It's not, I hate people say that I can't meditate. There's no one way to meditate, by the way.
So I just haven't learned how to.
You can meditate while working.
A lot of people, when you smoke weed, you get into a meditative state, but you're not conscious of that.
Can you get into a meditative state watching TV?
The meditation happens when you're conscious of it.
I meditate.
But when you're conscious of it, though, you're conscious of it. And I think that's a piece of what's happening a lot now. Like people are not understanding. Like you can go like there. You can.
We'll find Zen.
Be within yourself, and they have people that say, "What's that thing?" When they open their third eye and they realize that they're living outside themselves. That's happened to a lot of people.
Projection.
Astral projection. That's happened. That's a thing. That's not like that's no longer. Again, that's no longer a theory. That is something that's been proven. That people have seen. I hate using this.
I believe it, but I didn't know they proved it.
Have you seen Ready Player One?
I don't watch too much.
You haven't seen? Have you?
Yeah, the government. I've seen. Government has a whole program. Hold on. I'm trying to tell Leg.
Sorry, I believe in it, but I didn't know that
the government has a whole program of individuals that do remote viewing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Again,
for years.
First of all, and to only be able to do remote viewing, you would have to be some form of technology. Just saying.
Not going to speak on that one.
I mean, they did prove MK Ultra.
That I know about.
Because they let you.
Exactly.
Right.
And so when you get deeper into MK Ultra is meditation on steroids, but now using science to explain all of it. And now we're trying to
even
get
mushrooms
deeper.
and acid.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. You're saying like we've never been somewhere before. If you can trap, like if time is illusion, all this stuff, but if you can get outside yourself, where
you want to know what actually at the end of the day still has me align more of what you guys are saying to me in reality is the whole concept of just consciousness in itself. Like the consciousness in your body just does what it does.
It's a cool way of saying awareness.
Decisions. You know what I'm saying? Your body's got its function. Your conscious can do, in a sense, whatever it wants because you decide. Yeah, that's what you want and what you decide. You know what I'm saying? So
maturing is a part of being more conscious.
But once you start thinking of a conscious, that's already assimilation. You know what I'm saying? It already is assimilation.
So what do you mean by that?
So because your conscious is what's carrying out and making the decisions on what your body's going to do with the whole thing. So
you can imagine it,
right? You already could be plugged in reality just based off your conscious alone.
That's what he's saying. Like that's the essence of it.
I have a question. So I'm asking each and every one of y'all, right? So think about your youngest self, right? And think about what you thought you would be at this point in your life. Does it align with what your younger self believed you would be?
I never thought about my future. I only lived in the present.
Yeah, I never did either. That's funny you say that.
I think that's deep in of itself, right?
The only thing I thought about was I knew that I was going to learn a trade.
Okay.
Only because that's just what I come from.
Boom. So what about you, Nate?
Yes, but I didn't see it at the time. Like I lived it, but I didn't think it.
Okay.
Right. So right now, I don't know what everyone else's path is. I don't know what they're doing.
Get money.
But it's true. Yeah. But my path is right now, like I want to do acting. Right.
Right.
So when I
Hello,
was
my baby. Hello, my
Broadway ass. No, like, so
Did you just say he has a broad ass?
Whoa.
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 you took the way off that, and that's
Yo, so I can honestly say, like, I didn't see my life past like 18.
Were you looking though?
I think I was. Right. So I think we all have a divine purpose. Right. Which
Like
I think that
everyone does?
even I think everyone has a divine purpose.
I don't
100%.
believe that.
You don't believe that?
No.
So
Okay.
Because you're not
see?
divine.
Tell me why.
You're not
But we're all
divine if
divine.
everybody has the same purpose. That purpose is no longer divine.
I feel like there are people who are complete wastes of time.
100%. I could see that.
I believe
I think
that.
people choose to be a waste of time.
oddball that has no path.
They
that just
choose
bounces
to not.
and
You
hits
gotta
somebody.
remember, I believe.
You know what I mean?
This is a simulation, so I believe that there are people put here as
Like
programs to
NPCs?
activate other players in the game.
I think those people are really motivation for. They're just motivation because you see
They're
somebody
quest
that's like,
givers.
because you're like, yo, like these people have no purpose. Well, these people are motivating you to
They're
do
your
better.
purpose.
So what do you
They don't
believe a
have one.
deja
They don't have
vu
one.
moment is?
So they're just motivating you to not be like
So
them.
wait.
Essentially.
Has everyone experienced like a deja vu moment?
Yeah.
I think those
Have
are
you,
suppressed.
Mr. Yard?
They're suppressed dreams.
Leg, you've
That's what I
experienced a deja
Often.
vu
Dreams?
often.
Dreams.
Frank,
So how they manifest? That's funny.
Deja vu is suppressed dreams.
Do you have
You
to
think
explain
so?
that? I like.
I don't-
like
I don't
people say
agree
that
Your
necessarily.
brain, your brain finds something familiar with it from either a life experience,
This is-
something
that's
you've
a-
seen in a TV, whatever it is.
No.
Your brain just pull it and just boom for a brief moment.
no, I've had moments where it's like, okay, I've
Yeah.
literally been here before. This exact
yeah,
shit
I
is
believe-
played out.
I believe
Might be a
that.
past
and
life.
this
I believe
moment
that.
is sticking out.
Yeah, you need
be
to
a
be on.
past life.
You need to be on volume. Like
But wait,
I don't trade. I don't play.
Paxil, whatever.
when you say that, are you talking about the dream or are you talking about the deja
The
vu?
deja vu.
So you
Because I'm not necessarily saying it's a dream. You could have had this memory from anything. You could have either lived it, seen it on TV, whatever it is. It's some recessed memory that gets caused upon. Sorry,
Thought,
if I said dream, I meant
piece
to
of
say,
information.
No, I wanted to understand if
Some-
Somehow,
be a memory, it's a piece of
somehow you
information.
process this information somehow, and it's saved somewhere in some memory bank somewhere in and you just
The
call
hippocampus.
It just
So-
aligns. Your memory just like aligns with that moment. You're like, whoa.
So my question to you
Experiences, 'cause
is
you have
every
pineal
dream that
gland
you
shit.
is every dream that you've had some remnants of something that you're familiar with? Have you
Yes.
ever dreamed of something that you've never seen ever?
How could you do that?
I've done that tons of times.
Mine's
Tons of
almost-
times
mine's
where
almost-
there's
I feel like you
nothing
had to
related.
have seen it to see it.
No,
No.
I've
Kinda
had
thing,
dreams
like-
of things that don't exist.
But here comes the science part of it, right? Your DNA is where you hold all your information, right? So at the end of the day, you've lived past, present, and future.
So what you're dreaming that you think doesn't exist existed in the past because that's Anunnaki shit.
I don't know
DNA.
when it existed.
Possibly.
It's
Could
just
be.
things that I'm not
He's
familiar
saying
with.
DNA memory.
Yeah.
This is.
I'm just
this
giving
happened
it
1,000 years ago.
I'm
But-
giving somebody something to pull from.
More than
You know what I mean?
1,000
When I
years
say
ago.
those-
So I get
like
Yeah.
fucking.
Leo had to go.
10,000 years ago, million years ago.
That's,
Go ahead.
Yeah, blessings, nice and decent people.
Blessings, King.
You know?
What up?
So, you know, when it comes down to who a person is, you are a developed person. You know what I mean? So first you'd have to be spiritual, and then the spiritual knowledge would have to take a form. The body, you know what I mean? And then this body, based on what investment you put in it, it will take to the next level. Some people, you know, they're within their development, they have surpassed the human expectations. So that is how all of us here can have weird conversations according to social norms, you know? So yeah, man. A
Do you
lot of
believe
times
that's all it is, though? It's just because we're just allowed to be in the situation to have the conversation to even debate it. Is that what you're saying?
No, to be allowed, you know, you have to first have permission. You have to be free in totality, you know?
I
Not
agree
trying
with
to
that.
guide knowledge, not trying to, you know, but trying to be in it. Because
This
energy
knowledge,
is moving, you
this
know?
knowledge exists, and I know it. Here it is. If you want to take some of it, good, great.
Yeah.
But if not, no worries.
Yeah, man, it's,
Right.
it's moving forward because, you know, I don't think that any one person will always have the same topic to talk about. That simply means that energy is moving. Now, I mean, it's not age. It's not aging. It's just energy evolving. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's no choice but to evolve because you can't get rid of energy.
So that's a great
Energy
question,
just
right?
keeps
So
moving.
who believes in like? So I
Different
believe in
forms.
an energy theory, right? I believe everyone possesses this energy. It's your life force, whatever. It comes from one source. That's kind of like my spirituality in a sense. I can get more further into it, but I won't. So in that reality, like as your physical form passes away, that energy and who you're being, whatever, continues on to the next source in a sense. Yeah. But what if those sources combined?
It's more of a passion and like a coding. You know what I mean? Because like you said, like ones and zeros, right? So our DNA is a coding, just like you put in any program, but it's our coding. You know what I mean? And it's our passion, like whatever we're designed to come do. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean?
It's fucked up. I'm actually coding a game that's designed to simulate life.
Well, congratulations. You're a life.
But it's funny though. I'm like actually I'm participating.
And they say nothing's new under the sun.
Yeah.
Insert shameless plug here.
Thinking it's the first time.
We're not promoting yet.
Congrats. You're a life coding a life.
Yeah,
Oh,
I honestly,
I mean?
it's not easy, but I've learned a lot. I've already.
I mean,
But
this
why
is
don't
kind of
people
how you
take-
could say that like people have lived before. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So like
that-
I'm 26. I'm 25, right? To be 26 next week. Definitely tune into that show. But
Yeah,
she's trying to make that be
so
known.
like
I
I'll
get
talk to Lance and like he'll be like, "Yo, you definitely been here before." You know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely aspects of
So I love this
where
topic.
I'm able to receive things that are above my,
what?
Right.
my current intellect or my current level of understanding, right?
I get it. I get it, and this is why. When things come easy, or when you mesh with a person, very well, that's just. It seems like that's where it comes from. Like something comes second. Has anyone ever done something that was like a natural talent, like you did it, and that was just like
music?
It just came to you.
Everything, so
You know what I
that's out of
mean?
the question.
Yeah.
This guy does everything.
It's crazy though.
I mean, I don't
you guys
know.
ever see? It's a movie with Ryan Reynolds.
No, we didn't see the white people movie.
Nah, it's fuck. Yo, you're doing
What
yourself.
do you have against white people?
Yeah, you're doing
Jeez.
yourself an
I don't like
injustice.
the colonizers.
It's like
Yeah, they can't season for shit.
It's like the
But no, that
free guy.
can you
Or
imagine?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
either
that was
free
fire.
guy. Or
I
free
haven't
guy.
seen it, but I
But
know
can you
what you're
imagine a society that
So,
was
but think
not
about it though.
colonized?
This is this is a race that, or not a race. I'm sorry, it's a program.
Whoa.
So in Free Guy, right?
Oh, that movie.
They simulate open worlds, right? And Guy is just a fucking programmed as a bank teller. He does the same routine every day. The fucking bank robbers come in, he gets on the floor, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But deep in his programming, he was always searching for his lost romance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the programmer put in there. So from there, that made him at that point like see the love of his life, right? Which was the dude's fucking girlfriend or chick that he becomes girlfriends with, or whatever, or boyfriend girlfriend with. But anyhow, he programmed that one thing in there. So just meeting her in this game changed all this programming. All of a sudden, all this shit started firing off, and all these different things.
but think about it.
So different
singular
paths
versus you in a
all of a sudden,
relationship is a different
thinking
person.
about what path to take, the whole nine.
Changed
Like
your
he
coding.
became an actual artificial intelligence.
Essentially, coding.
It was the
That
first
too.
artificial
Right, you know what I'm
intelligence that's ever really
you don't
truly
act the
created
same.
on that type of a level. So because of that, now this dude's going around gaining points, being a good guy. Like he's leveling up. He's getting all these
Right.
weapon art. You know what I'm saying? Way against his programming. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? Like, who's this player?" It's not the player. It's the NPC. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to see like we're talking about this shit more and more, like Ready Player One, Free Guy, anything that's like, now that they're already coming out with games, like it's really moving
they have a
in
Disney
to where
version
they're
of this
selling
movie.
digital property.
I forgot the name of the movie,
I've
but
seen
it's the
it.
same
They're literally
shit.
selling
But why?
digital property.
But it's funny because we talk about these things as if, granted, it's the future, but these are great technologies. Like when the technology is the mind itself and the ability for you to deprogram yourself and hit different pathways. And the pathways, I think, in that movie are just synonymous with us being able to mind read or something like that. Like I'm able to read your mind. Like I think these things exist in the human body, and you're able to do that when you're in alignment and you can break the code with certain whatever
So-
you want to talk about. We don't
Like
want
what
I don't want to
he's
get too
saying,
deep into that, but yeah.
I feel like
So
that.
to embrace, just a second.
Go ahead.
To embrace the reality of this whole DNA thing, they call it dinucleic acid. You know, acid is used to break down things. So that means that you get a breakdown version of your mother's, you know what I mean? All genetics, all that. You know, anybody who is familiar with the term birthmark, you know what I mean? Spots, you know, strange spots on your body, they say that,
I don't have a birthmark.
It's a craving that your mother had. You know, it's a craving that your mother had, and she scratched that area. And whatever she was craving for, whether it be chicken or whatever, that's what the birthmark was shaped like.
Pickles and mayonnaise.
You know
Which
what I
is
mean?
crazy. Me, my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother all have the same birth.
So what do
you
y'all
know.
think like a birthmark? Like why or where does it come from? Like what is?
That's when.
So that is
that's
the
when your
first-
dad was still poking it, and he kept on hitting you inside the womb.
Yo, you're a mad.
Frank, get the fuck.
Frank is
This
super
guy
funny.
is something.
No, the
else.
birthmark, you know, the
She just
birthmark.
yelled at him for leaving, and I'm gonna go pee right now.
All right, so we're gonna yell at you for leaving. It's not gonna be different.
I don't give a fuck.
I know it's your house.
He's just
Get it.
being Frank.
I've heard, and I don't actually subscribe to this, but just one thing I've heard is that in past lifetimes, their wounds.
Oh, you died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So it's like
So
where you
I
die.
carry the wounds of my great greats.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Or not even people you were related to.
So does that
People
mean
you
that
were in
I
your
what?
past.
Yeah, it's where you died. Like so,
Interesting.
if you got like a birthmark on, say,
I had
your
my
head,
birthmark on my left arm,
so
mid.
So you
range.
could have got stabbed, shot, whatever.
Yeah, or a
happened there,
wound
and
you suffered in the past life.
Interesting.
You can have a past life regression. Like, there's people out there that will hypnotize you and allow you to just start talking, and they'll record it.
I've always been interested in doing that.
I don't want to be
actually.
hypnotized.
Well,
I'm
in
curious.
order
I do. I'm curious.
So even that's why shrooms
In
and
order
that type
to
of shit
access
didn't
that part
work
of
on
the
me.
brain, which you can do
Because
without that.
I have to have a level of
literally
control.
about to say that next.
I'm interested in that.
So
But I
what
don't know if
can you
that's
do?
like me needing to be
I
in
was gonna say, I
control.
got half
That's
a shroom
me
bar at
in
home.
this vessel needing to be in control. or
So
what?
you can do that you can do that with a good Reiki practitioner. You can do that.
Oh, you believe in Reiki?
I've had Reiki
You subscribe
done
to that?
Well, no, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
You know, I'm taking
how
it
long
in.
have you been doing Reiki?
No, I haven't done Reiki. My wife
you-
does Reiki. I had
okay.
Reiki
My
done on
children's
me.
mother does it. She's
Yeah.
certified in that.
When you do
So
Reiki,
I don't know what Reiki is.
it's life force energy that you already have
Yeah.
in your body, and they just access it.
It's real.
Yeah,
I'm not. Listen, I believe in life force.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
but I'm the terrible
I've never
person.
heard of that.
I don't like explain things half.
For somebody
You
who
want to know 100%.
Yeah, I know pretty.
You want the
decently.
facts.
So, but tell me what you do know.
Well, Reiki is basically accessing the energies you already have in your body, and I would say it's Ayurvedic, meaning it's Indian based or Hindu based, right? And so basically they follow the chakras, and they go through the was it 7 or 10? Seven chakras in your body.
Well, there's 10 for real, but
we
they
don't
focus on the 7.
Exactly.
So would you date a big woman?
Hold on.
That was the best way to get
That's super funny.
That's the best way to get into that, man.
Nah, continue. I want to hear this though.
Big women.
With the seven chakras have different meanings in the body. The heart chakra, the throat
I'm
chakra.
familiar with them.
All right. And so what Reiki does is access those, right, and tell you where you have blockages within those chakras, and that can mean that you might have lost your voice, you are brokenhearted, or something like that. When you go deep into Reiki, right? I went deep into Reiki. I felt a person that died and passed away, and I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So we don't believe in none of that stuff.
You're a Hebrew Israelite. So that's what you subscribe to.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day. Go ahead.
But so we don't even subscribe to that. So when that happened, after the Reiki session was done, she told me about the individual. And I just, first of all, when you're in the session, it's almost like a sunken place and get out.
Right.
And it was funny because it was a white girl that did it. So I was like, oh boy. When it happened, I was seeing myself, and I kept on pulling myself up so I could not feel it. Because when you go too deep, it's like I didn't want to get there. So, and she was a homie. But anyways, long story short, after the Reiki session was done, they do a reading and they say, I felt this energy, I felt that. And she said, I felt you had an aunt or somebody that was really tall and had like a lot of energy. It's the same person I felt like I saw, and I had to like push myself from seeing when I was basically I would say a trance to help people understand what that was. So it was in a trance. I saw her, and then I had to like pull myself back in by making jokes and like try to bring myself back to that reality. When the reading was done, she told me that she saw that same individual I saw.
Is this something you've only done or will only do once?
I will only do once because when you have, and I hate using cliches, but when you have a lot of trauma, you've done a lot of stuff, it can get dangerous to get into those modes. You don't know if you can come out, and if somebody's really good and they can really control you, you don't know what you come back and it messes you all up.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to keep my sunny disposition. You know what I'm saying? I don't want someone to taint that for me.
So you don't want a tan?
Nah, listen, I've been through some trauma in my fucking life, dude.
Yeah, you'll get messed up.
I've been through a lot of trauma. Like, there's some things like...
Some trauma holds you back, too, though.
And I don't necessarily disagree with that, right?
Which is why I like what he's saying. I'm
I feel like there's something to learn out of each and every traumatic experience that you have.
I just feel like one of the biggest important things that people could really try to practice in life and feel better is chalking shit up to it being what it is, and only concentrate. Nah,
I do it all the time.
Though.
The most dangerous thing you can do.
But it's not though. Think about this, right? But listen,
I mean, you can only expect people to be who they are.
I can't control things, right? Only thing that I can control is what I can control.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of things that are out of my fucking control.
I can't control your reaction to what I say.
Right.
But
I can't control the fact that it's going to rain, but I can control whether or not I bring an umbrella. You heard?
Right.
Yeah. So that's been my logic of thinking, and I feel like even though I've been through all this traumatic shit of what it is, like I don't condone it continuing to happen to anybody else. Like I try to teach in a different direction, the whole nine. But I can't control what has happened. There's no point of me dwelling on that. It only has happened. It is what it is. I have to now continue on from that point forward, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So why sit there and dwell on that shit?
It's not a dwelling. I think that's what you're looking at.
No, so contemplating it and using it as wisdom of how to make your next decision is a different story. You know what I'm saying? But to dwell on it in a fashion of why me, like, oh, but it is what it is. It's happened. Like there's nothing you can do about it now. You have to just move on.
But there is something you can do, because you are that trauma. So how you react, how you move is based off the experiences you have. So when you say you can't do everything, it's doing it for you.
Yeah, but I can't.
But all I'm saying is this. So for some people, that's detrimental, and that trauma is controlling
I understand
how your
that.
life is.
Yeah, no,
and
I understand
you may not know how it's affecting your life. You can level up once you.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying that my struggle is any worse than anybody else's or anything to that degree. I'm not saying that you're implying that. But I'm not saying that. I'm not projecting that. All I'm saying is what I've learned to identify based off of my experiences through life, and the way that I'm able to get by and keep kind of a sunny disposition throughout most of my existence is just, at the end of the day, chalking up to not dwelling on what I can't control and what has happened, and only using that to move forward in life in a better direction. Right? And I feel all life experiences are really that when it boils down to it. You know what I'm saying? It's something that happens based off of what situation you put yourself in to even be in any type of situation, or what's happened naturally, whatever, everything in between. You know what I'm saying? But either you make a decision to get into a scenario, or you make a decision based off of that scenario that further ever deviates your path through the rest of your life.
Yeah, but if you do that, you'll never live a full life. Because
how not though?
Because
I still love what I'm saying.
If you only go in the past that you know that you're successful, I mean that you're reliving one of your past lives. You know what I mean? Or trauma. I don't believe in trauma. You know what I mean? I believe in
I'm saying the same thing.
Events. You know what I mean?
Right.
Events that change. It's not trauma. If you put a negative connotative to it, that's what it's gonna become.
Right. I agree with that fully.
It's just really how resilient you can be at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's what you look at. Like, a thing I was taught was like,
that's an army thing to say, bro.
That's an army.
That's the
right
military.
There.
It is,
but it worked. You know, it's crazy.
Gas mask.
It works. It is, but it works. This is one of the things. He could tell you, but it works.
It works for who?
It worked. It worked for me.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. You guys are individual. First of all, we're all males. Like we're talking from a different perspective besides you. But I'm saying, when you speak, when you're speaking about these things, right? It's individual. Right, and so both of y'all, I can know that you were going to say that. It's because your whole persona. I know you were going to say that.
It's just really how resilient you can.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of women and men that can't move outside of their trauma. Right, so their whole life becomes fueled off of their trauma. I react because of this. You know what I'm saying? I do this because
you forever
of
become
this.
A reaction of.
So I think the mentality and the disposition of oh, I can't control how you might react. I'm still gonna do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I also think that, like, and not to make it a race thing, you know what I'm saying, but like black people as a whole, we've, you know, we don't react based off of what could be or what, because of how you react. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Like in what way?
Well, you know, black people, the topic, which I feel so much pride in, you know? Shout out to all the people in the world. Shout out to all the black people living in this earth, you know what I mean? I believe that, you know, black people have been through so much, right? And as a result, we have genetically wired our minds, you know, to our very children, you know, to get ready for certain things. You know what I mean? In Jamaica, they teach the children to be ready for our situation through parables, you know what I mean? And, you know, smart statements and all that. But I believe that in this time and age, nothing is new about trauma, nothing is new about body, you know, negative events. But I believe that we have gotten to a point where people are more confident in, you know, approaching these matters and seeking solutions. You know, you cannot, if you're going to withdraw from something that you're afraid of, you'll never grow from it. You know what I mean? And
I
as
totally
I say,
agree.
you know, energy evolves. You know, that is what life is, energy evolving. That is why when you get quote unquote older, you become smarter. You know what I mean? And if you'll find that if a person is raised by older persons, they will have more coping mechanisms than, you know what I mean?
This is one thing everyone
they were
can
raised
agree
by
with.
wisdom.
Yeah, because personally, I would never go to a guidance counselor or a therapist. I'd rather to talk to a tree.
I won't go there.
But it's individualized.
It's individual, because I knew he would say that too.
So
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I feel like y'all
out of this wazoo. Like you guys are all and it's not me trying to be cocky. I've raised around JA military.
So culture.
You can't classify the shit out.
Yes, South Boston boy. That's what you from.
And it's going
Springfield.
You represent South. I'm from Boston. You represent South Boston boys. Like, so that your whole persona. That's what I'm saying. So when you say that, that is very. Like, I would hear you say that, understand that.
So this goes back to it being a coding.
It's a coding,
right? So
I think in one
it's a coding, right? So it makes sense, right? I got
logical,
you. Exactly.
I'm a very logical individual.
You
know what I'm saying?
Right. You're conditioned to it.
With logic, I feel like since my whole character is it's either a 1 or it's a 0. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
But science proves that's one of the biggest problems, because we're more spiritual than we think, and the spiritual is very undefined at this moment. And
spiritual can't be a 1 or a 0, right?
Exactly. So that's why.
So if we're a 1 and a 0, how does spiritual exist?
But how can you say it doesn't? It can't be a 1 or a 0, because it's already a 1 or a 0. Because whether you're spiritual or not, that's already.
But what I'm saying
is 1
one
or the other.
What do you mean?
I think first we have to acknowledge that
was a valid point.
Our spirit.
Man, if we all understand,
we are spirit.
I need to hear this.
Okay, so what I was saying was, how can you both be a part of the matrix but also be spiritual? And what he said was that's also the 1 and 0, because either you are or you aren't.
What do you mean?
No, we're all our spiritual. Period.
No. It starts with the simplest thing of turning on. You're either on or you're off, right? So when it starts at that, right? What is on when it's not?
Off.
Right. So everything starts off. That's one source. And then boom, it turns on. And then from that,
it does it.
But
in reality, but what happens when you turn it off? Does it inverse?
Yeah, but Frank, listen to this.
It just stops.
Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this for a fact, that as above, so below. You know, a root is a branch without leaves,
and it starts with a seed.
So you know, anywhere
biblical concept, I must have.
Everything starts with one thing.
Anywhere you take,
just think about it.
Anywhere you take it, there's no singular direction. You know, I believe that in life, you know, you're just like trees spread all over the place.
But that's actually not. But that's not true, because everything measures down. At the end of the day, everything can almost be measured down to really one thing, one organism, one split, one big bang, one thing that exists in.
Can I let me preface it?
Everything exists within one thing.
I know you haven't studied enough about that, because
that's not true.
It's called metaphysics. It's called
anatomically speaking,
there's a subatomic level, Every metaphysics person, anybody that studies physics knows that all the laws that you're talking about don't apply. At
So
the subatomic
let me ask you this, right? Breaking it down to the actual fine molecule, right?
The atom.
Down to the atom, right? What is the atom in its one thing, in one sense?
They
and
don't
how you
even
just
know.
bring it up in right now, right? Though, but you didn't say the atoms. You said the atom.
Yeah.
Meaning one.
Yeah.
1 to 1. Yeah.
But no. But again, that's why you didn't hear me. In order to get that, how did that get created? And that's what they're finding out is not. Right. There's no one,
which is more
or two,
but
there could be three.
Exactly.
Let me say.
But this is what's going to blow your mind, because though that there could be three different things that even makes up the chemical making of that one thing, then that means there's still one component. So C plus 2, H2O plus this, whatever. Then that breaks down to another thing. It's a mixture of three chemicals. It's still one chemical plus another chemical plus this other chemical that makes that one thing that then turns into that other thing, and then that part is another chain of things that turns into that one thing, but it all starts breaking back down to one. It's like the Russian doll. It keeps going down into one thing. You know what I'm saying? But even the universe is contained into one thing, and then that universe can be multidimensional, but it's still contained into another whole one thing that holds all those dimensions, which then can be another dimension on top of.
It could, and that's what I'm saying. You're theorizing, but you're telling us is fact. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, no, I think everyone speaks as fact when all of us talk.
Okay, that's what I'm like.
Yeah, I can't help but to not. In a sense, I'm trying to have you just think in another direction that maybe you haven't thought of before. I'm not saying.
Yeah, no, I've thought about it like that because I'm also logical, pragmatic. But the thing is when you say something like, okay, we come from one thing, right? They're realizing, because people search for facts. People are going to be honest, like, some people may research and go down a rabbit hole and stuff like that.
I think that's smart. I think that's smart thinking. You should think about it anyways. Use that to start studying other shit, because who knows what you learn from that. You know
exactly.
And even if you learn to call me bullshit on my shit, at least I sparked
the Bible
that
does
thought.
say,
that one,
show yourself
that one thought that then sparked into something else.
That came from many, though.
Oh yeah, most certainly, but
which came from the universal code, which is many things. It's not one,
right?
But isn't the code contained on one chain line?
There's
in a
no
sense?
way
but
around it.
That code is just one layer of coding. What if then there's another? Could be another layer. Then another layer beyond that, but that's still all contained in one. It's just crazy.
You're thinking very linear. You're a linear thinker. I thought the universe. I thought of circle,
but many things can still consist inside that one thing, making it multi. Just because it may be contained in one thing doesn't mean it's singular all by itself. Like that.
Come on, have you not seen a Marvel movie?
What I'm saying, it's infinite.
Bro.
It's infinite, brother. Is what I'm saying.
But that's not what you said at first.
No, I'm talking about how it's all continuously contained into one thing, and then that's continued into one thing, and then that's contained into one thing, and there could be multi of that one thing inside that.
It all reduces to one.
Yeah,
it all reduces to one, but and then it could go on. It just goes on infinitely.
Is it still one if it's infinite?
That's what I'm trying to.
But even that one infinity is still contained inside.
But add one infinitely together, and it's going to be infinity.
But it's still everything's still contained into one scenario that could be. It's like what was the thing we're talking about? That's like the bee's eye.
Yeah, but 1 + 1 is 2.
Like talking about Mandelbrot set.
Is that what it is when it's just continuous? Yeah.
1 + 1.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just saying. You got 1, and then you got 1. 1 and 1 is 2.
All right, fellow
but
students.
It still has 1 and 1.
Talking
you can't get
one
the 2.
And 1
you can't get 2 without the ones.
No, Frank, you have it wrong with that one.
One
you know?
power. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So first thing first, everything starts from an electrical phase. Everybody knows this. That's the whole Victor Frankenstein theory. But it was further before.
Yeah,
so
that's how he became alive, was the electrical impulse.
Yeah. So when you even look at the cells fire electrical impulses. Fire neurons, and then information move around.
Mm-hmm.
So basically saying this: electricity don't move in one direction.
But magnetism does.
But it does.
It moves in either. It moves one or the other direction.
But even
how
gravity. But guess what? And how memory gets stored is only through magnetism. That's why you have a magnet on your debit card.
You know, it's funny. You can't actually combine
magnets.
You can't combine a magnet with a hard drive. Otherwise, you'll wipe the hard drive.
Recently, they discovered that you were talking about earlier. You can store memory in DNA. They were discovering that you can store memory in DNA now. Or they've discovered it.
They are very much late. We've been doing that a long time. They just put a fancy.
Yeah, we didn't know it.
Clones are a real thing.
Right.
Yeah,
100%. They are.
They said that
can't say no much more.
You could take the entire content of Wikipedia and put it in like a millionth of a piece of DNA.
Yeah, but that's why I be telling people the human body is the
most advanced
technology.
Yeah,
and we're talking about the metaverse. I'm like, that's why I be like, okay, do you know you already exist in your own metaverse? And there's so many. That's why I say it. Like, it's like we keep on giving the creation and not the creator the credit, and that's why I'm saying, like,
Justin. People get up and do that every day. Understand? They just put new names to it. Because if you go in a store, you see all type of juices. You see apple J, you see Capri Sun, you see cranberry. All sort of fucking names just to say one thing. This is a juice. This can be drunk. You know what I mean? This can be drink. You get what I'm saying? So people change the narrative over a period of time, but all that remains is the central focus of man. You know what I mean? With the divine knowledge of whatever created us. You know what I mean? In my case, Jah. You feel me? So I believe that the more that a person, the closer a person is to his central focus, is a better these answers, are presented to them. Because if you're a person that believes that you're a pilot, you have no business on the railways. You know what I mean? You might see railway lines that is a small branch, but the central focus will be on everything around, aeronautical knowledge. So I believe that, at the center of everything is just, it's not even one, because it will form a circle. You know what I mean? It will form a circle. So I don't even believe that it's one.
If I believe that one and bend it, it becomes a circle.
See, so so the circle is original. One came from the circle,
fire.
you know.
Saying
that was a bar.
That was a bar.
It was one circle.
Which that goes into your is Earth flat theory.
Yeah,
true.
That's good.
You're welcome.
Hey, some would say the Earth is hollow. I'm just saying.
That was a reach.
I mean, I meant to do that.
It's not a reach, but
no, not that hollow Earth. I'm not talking about hollow Earth. I'm talking about that leads into the flat Earth theory.
Well, he was saying that the one laid on its side would be the flat plane of existence, but also makes a circle with 360. It's
a bar.
And both have to exist, right?
Yeah. Or if you take a circle and open
but
it
then
up,
that leads to what?
One.
Perspective.
Right.
But all numbers are comprised of one and zeros, or even letters.
So there you go. There's the 1 and the 0 right there. You got a circle, which is a 0. You break the circle open, it becomes a 1.
2 O's.
And it still starts with the 0.
Fuck off, right?
This guy's on to something. This guy is on to something. I agree.
So when it comes on to programming, a lot of people not gonna like this, but fuck y'all. When it comes on to programming, right? It's all about the food that they eat. You know what I mean? Because if you eat a bag of parasites, then you're gonna think what the parasites are thinking. A lot of the times you are hungry, you're not really hungry. It's that pork, it's that Burger King stuff, it's all of that milkshake and all that blasted madness you put in your body,
This nigga came late and it's still here.
Yeah, we had a whole.
Alright, so even like ground provision, you're saying both, all of a sudden yam sales in Jamaica, not even the natives can afford it. Because yam is an electrolyte food. It's one of the only food that, has electrolytes in it.
You said what?
Yams.
Oh, yams?
I don't mean bottom, big bottom. I mean yams that go.
Can
I get to
Now we like those yams too.
Big bottom.
But I'll argue with you that it's not. It's just food.
Don't argue with me about yams.
Food is.
I am what I am.
Hold on.
Food is definitely a disturbance, right, in your body. So the electrical currency in your body that exists, electrolytes, we drink Gatorade, it can be disrupted by eating bad foods like the cheeseburger or whatever, your pork. Right. The more fat you have, you actually are disturbing the electrical current in your body.
I don't doubt it.
That can come through your body. Because actually, when you do, have anybody ever held those things where they tell you your BMR? You know how they do that, right? They send an electrical current through your body, and the longer it takes to get back to the source is how much body fat you have. Because the longer it takes, it means there's more resistance you have.
Makes sense.
So that's what fat is a resistor to the electrical current. But I don't always think that food is not the only culprit for not being conscious.
Yeah.
Like people will push that hard, but that's not the only. That's not. I see a lot of people that have crazy amount of consciousness that's God given.
But it is
don't eat right.
It is a primary thing,
I don't think it's the primary.
Because if you don't have gas in the vehicle, you cannot move.
But
You know
I don't
what
think
so when I say food isn't only tangible, but it's also intangible, because what we're doing right now, we're feeding our minds with different areas of knowledge. You know what I mean? And how we process this will determine whether or not we'll reach the next stage of our development. You know what I mean? Or the next stage of our demise.
It's actually very true.
So, you know what I mean? It's, when I say food, you know, food is just probably the start.
Food's just a word.
You know what I mean? Because when you look at it, you know, why I say food is primary, because the umbilical cord during the stages of pregnancy would wire your information, like what we're doing right now. Right? That's why we use cards with the mic. You know what I mean? And some people, the cardless mic. But it wires your information. It wires your nutrients. So, you know what I mean? Everything in its own, you know, embodiment should have, you know, nutrient, spiritual feeding, education, and all of that, you know what I mean? And then you'll have a holistic being. But you realize when persons, you know, become alive and start functioning and start become socialized with other people that don't feed themselves properly, they become sick. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that is what the whole COVID thing is about. People's mentality getting sick because of lockdown. And you know what I mean? All of a sudden, you are forced to see the piece of shit you are. You know what I mean? And spend time with this stench and spend time to try to develop it. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Do you think
eat a
empathy
burger,
is-
smoke a cigarette, have a beer, and shut the fuck up. That's my motto. No.
Do you think empathy is
Smoke a
a
cigarette.
weakness?
Empathy
Yeah.
depends on how you got there.
Yeah.
I will say this. I feel like teaching almost is, in a sense, is like the key of life, in a sense, right? Because based off of that teaching, right, and based off the teachings that you get upon yourself,
You expand on it.
right? You expand on it.
Each generation you teach expands on that, and then they teach, and then they expand.
Teaching comes in many forms, and it's not all proactive.
I agree. I agree, definitely.
Like, I believe racism is taught.
It is.
It's definitely
I don't
taught.
think you're born racist.
Yeah, no, it definitely is taught. Because, like, the difference would be, like, how you or myself have grown up, right, compared to those that haven't grown up in that scenario, you know, in the same scenario.
But you don't have to grow up in the hood to not be racist.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what's contributed to our shit is being up in the mix, and the fact that we have
up in the mix is crazy.
Well, and friends that obviously aren't white.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
majority
saying?
of my friends have melanin.
All right, so at the end
You
of the
got
day,
melanin too, my bro.
Well, y'all have more melanin than me. Let me put it like that.
I have to take a supplement.
My daughter's learning about that shit in school right now, actually, and it's funny hearing her talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Closer to the equator, farther from the equator. Yeah, she's learning all of that shit.
Okay.
I was like, okay, that's what's up. I'm glad they're teaching you that.
They told her about the different types.
Yeah, they're teaching her about like how when you have versus having less melanin versus having more melanin, you're more susceptible to certain skin cancers. They're teaching her about how your skin is darker the closer you are to the equator, and she's telling me it like she's like, wow, like I never knew this was a thing, and I'm like, yeah, but black people, white people, like Puerto Rican
But we
people,
don't even
like,
possess the same type melanin.
yeah, she just started telling me about. She taught me that yesterday. Actually, I didn't know that, and she's supposed to every day. So, a little bit of history there. Every day, my kids come home, I make them give me one fact that they learned in school off the top of their head, even if they write it down so they don't forget that. Oh, this is the one I wanted to say. They have to tell me one thing that they learned, or they don't get their allowance at the end of the week.
Allowance?
Dead ass, yo. Because the point
I allow you to live in my house.
Well, nah, of course. But my point is this: I try to teach my children that school, your whole life, you're gonna have a job. Before you have a real job, school is your job.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to teach them to be their, to think and be their own person. Like, learn. Your point of being in school is to learn some shit. So learn some shit. You know what I mean? Tell me what you learned today. What did you spent 6 hours in the building and you can't tell me one thing off the top of your head that you fucking learned today? Nah.
It was Google.
You know what I mean? Like, so I make them tell me something. So that's where the melanin conversation comes from.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good thing to go off of too, is that at least where I come, like being here and then going out there to like other countries, is that people here are so negative, like in America are so negative about things, is that they can't see the positive what they have. right? We're here doing this. Like we all ate today, right? We all drank water. We all took a shower with clean water. We don't do that shit, right? We don't do any of that. Like another country, like we don't do any. Like in other countries, they don't do any of that. We do all that, right? So, but people are focused on like just everything that's negative about where they live, you know. So, like the thing that I do at the end every day before I go to bed, I think of one positive and one negative, right? So, like whatever was good today, like think of that one negative. So I take that negative, and tomorrow I make that negative a positive. So that I just keep, like you said, keep being gracious, keep evolving. So that's just something really to go off of.
That's like my point with the knowledge thing every day.
I don't care.
If you learn one,
I agree with you.
100%. It's not the American way at all.
American way.
No, it's not, and that's why we got to break this stigma of the American dream, because the American dream is not the American dream, because people come over here and still.
The American dream is a rich people's dream. That's what it is.
No, well, I mean, you know, the message is supposed to be like, if you work hard enough, you can become something. You know what
hard enough, there will still be a negative.
Whatever that level of, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that's like what the primary basis.
Before it used to be, if you work, you'll get.
Well, it wasn't just work.
Now it's if you work hard, or then it became if you work hard. Now it's if you work hard enough. Like it just keeps getting harder every generation.
No, the kind of initial shit of it is like whatever effort you put into whatever it was, whether it was working, whether it was owning your own shit, whether it was real estate, whatever it is, it just means you could come from nothing and develop something, and you still can at the end of the day.
But you have to adapt to that land, right?
But now, like it spawned from that to like the upper echelon, allowing themselves to be able to put themselves in a position to now just milk everything fucking dry, you know what I'm saying?
Which means the reason why it's a dream is because they need people to be asleep. That's the reality.
Right, that's all.
You need to be asleep to attain it.
100%.
I just think when the original message of that was, I don't think they understood what they had in their hands as far as control was concerned back then.
No,
you know, I think they do, but just not at that grand
the
of a
first
scale.
nigga who put up a fence knew what control was.
I agree with that, most certainly.
So, yo, Lance, you know, funny you should say that, you know. I grew up with a lot of old school Jamaica. It's people from the 18s, you know what I mean? 1890 something. And they taught me a lot about the land, you know? And they taught me how fences.
If you didn't know, he's 62.
I like to joke, man. You know, but then they didn't use like posts and fence, you know, what we say picket fences. They usually use trees, you know what I mean? And you know that when you reach this mango tree or this guango tree, or this ancient looking tree, this is where Lance's land started. When you pass it, that's where I land is. You know what I mean? And when you go down there, so you see where Frankston is. But it will show you that this, it far evolves our era where selfishness and greed and need to have authority over something that you came here and you see it. You know what I mean? And to create such a disturbance in people's pocket to sell it. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that if you own more than 12 vehicles, then you should be shot. Yeah, man, because honestly, there should...
What did he say? Wait, what was that?
You should be shot. If you own more than 12 acres of land, then you're not a farmer for the people. You should be shot. Because at the end of the day, I don't see why is it so hard. You know, you have to work 35 years. Whatever the mortgage lifespan is, that is how long they expect you to work to achieve something such as basic needs, you know, a roof over your head. You know what I mean? This entire thing is rigged. You know, I get me riled up and I don't want to get there.
The American dream is a fucking joke.
But you know what? Have you ever thought about this too, though? Nobody owes you shit. Right?
That's a fact.
So how could anyone live like anybody owes you shit?
No,
so
that's
providing yourself with the basic necessities of having your own house and being able to do what you want with your boys on a Thursday night, that should be like, that could be the level of, that's all that needs to be acquired throughout life.
At whose expense, though?
You know,
at whose expense?
Oh well, shit. My iPhone's at someone's expense. The court's in that alone.
So
like, how far deep do you want to get into this shit?
I think we should just enjoy it. Like, let's stop talking about the fact that like who's expect like you know.
Nah,
what
I
are we
mean,
doing?
it sounds.
I get it, but it's like let's just enjoy it for a moment. It sounds good, but somebody's still gonna pay. I get it.
Military man.
Yeah, I'm not saying someone should
forget about it.
Yeah, that's.
Do you hear me?
I get no.
Trump ass.
Forget about it. Dark room.
I grabbed him by the pussy.
Yeah, I didn't say. I don't agree with none of these cats, man. I'm with you.
I get it.
Forget about it.
You know what I mean? But I just like I said, I came
Suppress
back.
it.
I came back from a place where people didn't have what I came home today and had.
Because
So facts.
that's what we're saying.
But brother, you
the
know
reason
why?
why you have to care is because that is the reason why you have what you have because they don't have, and that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah,
and so you have to think about that because if it ever the tables turn. I've been close to situations where the tables turn.
Yep.
So it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different feeling.
I get it.
And I want to see how people. I don't want to see because I don't wish this upon anybody in my lifetime, my kids. But when the tables turn, how do we react?
Because you got to think about it. When the tables turn, put it like this. We're where we are now, and they're where they are. Now the tables turn. They're going to do whatever the fuck they got to do to be good, which is what any one of us would do.
Yeah, but
that's not true.
I mean,
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, all of us are fucking enjoying the spoils of this shit. Hold on. Who here has an IG account?
I got that. Yeah.
Go ahead and raise your fucking hand.
100%.
I have one. I just don't ever use the shit.
I'm just saying, we're all afforded these liberties.
Yeah, but thanks to China.
But
That's what he's getting at.
Oh yeah,
that's what he's saying.
Most certainly,
it's thanks to somebody else.
Listen, I got my survival bag, right? I'm just fucking around.
But you're saying like, then do something about it.
That's what I'm saying,
and I'm agreeing with that. I'm not saying I'm 100%.
And I hold myself to that too.
I hold myself to that.
Yeah.
I try my best to hold myself to that, but it's a thought that can make you more responsible in your decision making, and that's a seed that needs to be planted in a lot of Americans, especially these new millennials. That I have the same mindset when they get mad at like, your generation. What's your before next generation X?
So I think we're at the tail end of Generation X.
Yeah,
so
we're at the beginning of millennial tail end of Generation X.
Well, no, you're a millennial.
Baby boomers.
You're no doubt a millennial.
I'm like 2 years behind y'all.
Yeah,
like,
so I'll go baby boomers.
I'm 39.
All they do is complain about us new age kids. Well, not me, but they complain so much about this world and what they have, but will do nothing to lose it. They will do nothing, and that's what gets me mad. It's upset. It's like you talk about, we need to Black Lives Matter. Like, so do you want to give back all the money, or do you want to give up half the money? Because if you want to give up all the money, I'm here for it. But we can't have this notion like, we're better than our parents when we're enjoying the riches of Christopher Columbus and all the black people he enslaved. Yeah. Like you can't. That's true. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't complain.
Justin,
I recycle.
I recycle. Listen,
bro.
And I've been in situations where it is rural. So it's rural living. So I can live in that environment and have to go get my food and have to go. That's not going to kill me as much as it may kill the other person. But I'm ready for that to happen because it is. The tables are going to turn at some point. Babylon must fall, like we say.
Yeah, but brother,
I totally agree.
But the fact is, everybody, watch crime documentaries and all that. Let us solve the first crime against mankind. It is poverty.
That'll never be solved because that's existed since day one.
But that's also
there's always rich and poor.
That's also economy. That's like the way the economy's set up. I'm not saying the way it could be.
There's always been a king and a peasant.
I'm not saying the way it can be.
The tribal chief and the rest of the people.
I'm not saying it's the only way it can be.
There's always somebody on top.
But there's been there's a scenario where wherever these people traveled, they evened out the economy, and it's what brought the downfall of Egypt. It was like a king from out of Africa.
Mansa Musa.
Yes.
He was the richest.
Yes.
He was the richest
exactly.
king. Yeah.
When he went into Egypt, he evened out the economy. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then it collapsed Egypt.
So it did not collapse.
Well, it assisted in the collapse.
Because you see, a system where everybody is effective in subsistence living. That is a problem with people who exploit money. They don't know how to live off the land. You know what I mean? So therefore, they have to plunder other people who know how to live off the land and weaken their expenses.
Well, some people make goods. They make the hoes you use to work the land and the rakes.
Yeah.
You know, there's blacksmiths and there's leather workers. Like, there's everybody that doesn't.
Yeah, but they are living off the land because
right, but,
all of those.
but they're not necessarily hunting. But they're not necessarily hunting down that material. They're purchasing that material. You know what I'm saying? That like that's all a chain when it boils down to it.
They don't have to hunt it down, you know. Frank, if you don't know about farming, leave it alone.
No, I'm talking about the tools itself. So do you need to buy tools from somebody else to do farming? No. I believe you can find and make some shit yourself, right? But what I'm saying, when you start getting on when you start getting on a grand level, you have to make things more efficiently. At the end of the day, you don't have enough time in the day to be an effective farmer, plus also be the blacksmith. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what you're taking care of.
But
you got to pick one.
How did people survive before all of this? You know what I mean? All of this economy.
Everybody had a trade, like you said. Everybody had their
everybody had something that they did.
So therefore, and everybody was living partially subsistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All right, when you join the army, the first thing they test is your fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's what you got to be. You got to be able to endure.
So
that is it. That is the number one thing.
That is the key to life.
Endurance.
You know what I mean? Endurance. You know, in the army, 75% of the training is the legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you know
physical strength overall. It's just physical strength overall. Just everything is an endurance.
And then the next 25% is a mental strength, right? So basically, I'm saying to you that whatever you choose to do, everything is difficult because you don't want to go in that direction. You know what I mean? That is how it is.
Yeah.
So you see, if you have a willingness to learn, a new lesson will never be the problem. The teacher will never be the problem. You have a willingness to learn, you will incorporate the geniuses needed. You know what I mean? No matter how many practices you need to get it done. You know what I mean? So with this difficulty that we're talking about, Frank, with poverty not being solved because somebody benefits off of this and benefits off of it. It's all a mindset. Everything is a mindset. You know what I mean? Because if I go to buy a food, right? And I eat half of it. Because that is part of the military training, learning to share food with your brother.
Share food in
you know what I mean?
Portions, yeah.
Share food, difficulty portions, and I mean, and even living space. You'd be surprised how much of this we do not need.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with that, brother. The only thing I'm saying is that you get to a point where I think it's really the amount of population that changes things. Because you start getting to a point where, you know, you just taking care of yourself versus being part of a greater chain, that's two different scenarios. So if you want to go off into the woods and like not, you know, have to involve yourself with society, then that's a different story. You should be able to live off the land. But as soon as you're a part of a greater, you know, spectrum of things, everyone's going to either have their cog in their place and provide what they provide, or they're going to be useless to the system and weigh the system down. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think you start getting to a point where now when you have these congregation of things to where it needs to be starting to think about on a more mass level, there needs to be people that need to be able to coordinate that whole entire thing. Because otherwise you wouldn't need an accountant. You wouldn't need these things throughout life.
Which is funny because this is where, you know what I mean, people talk about colonizers, right? White people, in my opinion, not all, but a lot have the colonizer gene in them. It's a.
I'm Italian, so I'm a super colonizer.
I'm a Viking, so yeah.
I wanted to expound on that, please.
But so they have a colonizer gene. I've been in situations where I'm like, whoa, I never thought this would happen, and so I know how to operate in those situations with white people, but we still don't give credence, and I always do. People get mad when I do this. As a Hebrew Israelite, they hate when I do this. I'm like, they have the hardest job. They have to govern people. So I always give credit to what you just said. When you're going at a mass level, you have to manage. Management is one of the hardest things ever. And and what the colonizers are doing are managing billions of people. So I never look at like, oh my God, they're so bad. No. How in the world are they able to do this and not die every day? Because that stress level is immaculate. Like, you have to now not only govern people, but strategically plan, civically plan for 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And guess the human brain and the outcome of people's behaviors, that is so hard. And so I give credence to people that can do that, like that are doing that.
But doesn't that role exist in everything though? Because at the end of the day, even down
Not
to the
in that
tribe
capacity.
maybe not in that capacity.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But even breaking down to a tribal level, there's always a chief. There's still always
100%.
somebody that's
No,
of
but
a leadership
saying-
role.
Let me
There's parts of
explain.
Africa that don't have governing bodies.
They don't have governing bodies. They use the elders, but they don't have
Yeah.
governing bodies. There's a lot of tribes. The Samai people of the Kenya,
Yep.
they
And
really don't
Sudan.
have a tribal leader in a sense. But the thing is, you're talking about one people. When you're talking about multicultural individuals, dynasties, all of this encompassing into management of people, it's a difficult job. I can manage Bajans and Grenadians. I know them. I know them. When I came to Springfield, I never knew white people or African Americans like that. So it was a culture shock. And I had to work in a managerial position. I was rude because I learned I was just always brash. My whole family's brash. So I tell them, you're doing a terrible job. You need to get that together. And that's how I communicated. They were older than me, but I didn't know how else to communicate. I was like, what else do you how do you
I'm
want
just
to-
being honest with you.
It's exactly
It wasn't
what I
like-
do in the car business. So I
Exactly. So it's not, and I didn't say it that rude, but it was
I
just.
do.
Nah, that's what I hear in my business
I had
too.
to
Like,
be-
yo, you fucked up.
Wait, Frank, is it? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So with that being said, to manage all those different cultures and to do it not so well, but to do it to where you're knowing your outcomes 30, 40 years before they happen is amazing. And so I give credence. You can do that at your car dealership, right? With Jimmy, John, Harris, and whoever.
He said Harris.
Billions of people with all different wants, needs.
I actually work
and
with a
experiences.
multicultural staff. I'll have you know.
No, I was just using
He's not wrong.
No, I know.
He's right, and I say this
I don't
going
disagree. I'm just
obviously
Tyrone. My fault.
Tyrone.
You wanted to-
Harris, Tyrone, Juan.
and I say that to say this. Obviously, I'm going back to what I know, which is militant, right? If you go into any military base or any what's called an armory unit, whatever, you're gonna look in that wall, and there's gonna be probably like 20 pictures on that wall. Majority of the pictures on that wall are gonna be white men or white women. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it's just Colin Powell, yeah.
It's fucking right.
But like you said, it's just in there. It's in the genetics, and I've seen that. I've firsthand experience. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Military families and shit.
Not even military.
Is it management or is it control?
Management and control?
Why not?
No, but I'm asking you.
Yeah, it's control. You have. We are their kids. We are the children.
Huh?
We're the children. And that's what people don't understand. We are children.
How are we the children when they've been on the planet for 6,000 years?
No, exactly. We are treated
I'm
like
mixed
children.
in now, baby.
So-
I got
so that's what I'm
First
saying.
Nation blood in me the whole nine.
I'm confused.
I dug my roots.
So we've been on this earth longer.
Right. So how
Right.
are we the children?
So the children is
Of
not
the earth
is not
itself.
the literal meaning. Like we are the
You're saying
how they yeah
with
exactly
an analogy.
Yeah, you're
With
the
an
children
analogy.
of the earth itself.
right.
Whereas-
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying they're managers like they're our parents and we're the children. So we don't. So what people don't do now is make logical, not even logical decisions, but decisions made on what would be natural.
Adulting. They don't adult.
They don't. But
This is what you were talking
No,
about.
they don't. They don't at all. If it's one thing that I could bring back is that adults don't adult. I've seen 30-plus-year-old men that have a family of 4, family of 5 come back and they're over there and they just can't figure it out for whatever reason.
And so that's why you need management.
Exactly. And that's the military thing. That's
but
what
that's
military.
not all people.
It's not all people. No.
The people of in Australia, the indigenous people of Australia needed no management, but we went in there and managed them because they were living what? Subsidiary lives.
They were doing.
No, I'm trying to make a point, right?
Okay.
The management of people, when you take a people from their land, right, and then you create the system for them. They don't know how to operate in the system that you created because they're used to what they come from. And so that's when they need management, when you create the system. That's why people say the system. Yeah. When you go outside the system and live in congruence to what you are biologically made to do, you don't need management. That's why I mentioned the indigenous people. The indigenous people that are all over the world, in Australia, the Pygmy people, let's go to Somali people. There's a whole bunch of indigenous cultures. They don't ask for management. We come in there and say you need management because you're living a subsidiary life. You're
uncivilized.
You're uncivilized is what I was trying to get to.
You know what it is? It's because they don't like what you're doing, so they want to try to come and create a system for you because they don't like either how free you're living.
Welcome to America.
They don't like exactly.
But it's also about weaseling your way into that scenario as well. To manage and control.
It's the
not honey badgering in.
This guy.
I don't deny any of this shit.
Right.
I know my bloodline's fucking.
Leo, get you. This is the final thought. We're gonna,
I want to make sure you promote anything you have to promote before you head out this bitch.
All right, so I say most people come in peace, leave in pieces. You know what I mean? So come, you know what I mean? Even with the army, tell you they come in peace. They want to secure your borders and all this shit. No such thing. You know what I mean? They just want to expand their narrative.
You confirming something here?
Yeah, man, fully, you know?
So the thing that we struggle with and it is just staying strong mentally, physically, just going home at the end of the day with a peace of mind, because that's all we can try to control at the end of the day.
Just a peace of mind.
And that's what I brought up is the one positive, one negative thing at the end of the day. So if I may make a suggestion before we end this, because I know we're getting close to the end of time.
Oh, so we're past it.
We're past it.
Yeah,
this is my first time on the show,
yeah.
and I appreciate y'all bringing me onto the show.
Thanks for coming, man.
Of course. So, if it's one thing I may suggest, I don't know, those that want to participate. If you don't, it's all up to you. We just go around and just give something that, one thing that we're grateful for, and then one thing that we can do better that we're leaving today with. Because, they say, tomorrow's not promised. Anybody can leave this earth tonight. It is what it is. We know somebody that fell asleep and didn't wake up tomorrow. It's just a fact. You know what I mean? So take every day for what it is. Make the most of every day, because I think that's just most important.
So let's do it then. Let's do it right now. We'll give something that we're grateful for.
So I'll kick it off. I'm back with the people I love. I came home yesterday, but I'm gonna carry that into today. I'm here on your podcast. You gave me the opportunity to be here. You know what I mean? He gave me I'm here right now. I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm healthy. I'm breathing. And I got to do something I never done. This is my first time on a podcast speaking my truth. It's my truth. It's my opinion. Yeah. It's not everybody's. It's mine. But I got the opportunity to speak my voice. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? And my negative is that, I gotta go out and keep accomplishing. Like today, I didn't spend more time with my family than I should have. That's my negative for today. Go out and spend more time watch a movie with your kids, your parents, whatever. You know what I mean? Just go out and spend. That's my negative.
Can you guys pass the tissue, please?
Yeah, getting a little real in here.
I'm glad. But
that's just my negative, and then my positive. So that's just my stuff.
Oh.
I'm grateful to be able to wake up and see my children every day. My negative would be moments where I get into my own opinion. Sometimes, because of my own experiences, I'm able to block out others.
Super I'm glad you know that much, so that's fine. That's crazy.
Have very similar qualities.
Right. Wow.
That's crazy.
Can't really argue with that.
But I think you're supposed to say something that we don't already know.
That's his.
I think that's so dope that you said that, though.
Go ahead, Leg.
So, my positive would be that I'm finally at a place in my life that I can pretty much provide for my family, and I don't have to look at a price tag so much anymore as I used to. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. Shout out to my wife. Negative would be that because of that, I'm not home as much as I need to be, and I work a lot. So it's a double-edged sword.
All right, Justin.
I'm thankful for Yahweh Shai God for giving me my wife. To be honest.
I'm sorry. I'm not to interject, but can you just repeat that?
Well, I'm thankful for God, Yahweh Shai, for giving me my wife, and the life we're creating.
Big up the wives.
Yeah. And then one negative is my ability to block out people's experiences and tell them they're not valid and they need to pull up their bootstraps.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that shit too.
It is what it is scenario.
That's the buck up buttercup.
That's exactly what the fuck I was talking about.
It's a bad quality.
It is.
All right, Frank, go ahead.
I suffer from that shit too.
So I am appreciative of y'all. First and foremost, man.
And
at the end of the day, man, y'all could be choosing to do anything else with your lives right now at this moment, but instead you guys chose to share it with me. And I really appreciate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I would say my negative is being too quick to get negative to people that in reality are contributing towards something that I'm benefiting from. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, because things don't always go my way, I'm quick to anger, or I believe things should be a certain way, and I'm this and that, and I allow that too many times to turn things into just negative, rather than being able to just concentrate on making it into a positive.
All right.
And I want to work on
it. All right.
It's Patella before me, so go ahead.
No, not technically.
Not technically, yeah.
Oh, there I go doing it.
Well, I give thanks to my mother, Yeah, because a lot of the times, I have two mothers, by the way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Give thanks to Teresa and Miss Joyce,
Teresa.
Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for either of them, So give thanks. The negative is that I need to become more patient with the people that I love. Because sometimes my impatience with bullshit or small situations let me lose people that I care about. You know what I mean?
Talk up the thing, brother.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, man. So just that part, you know what I mean? So give thanks to mommy. Need to work on my patience. Yeah, man. And like, share, and subscribe, people, as you want. You know what? Go.
Did you share yours, I?
No, she did not.
No, it's okay though. Go ahead. Like, share, and subscribe.
Nah, go ahead, I.
All right.
That's not fair.
So first, I have to big up God, right? So you know what I'm saying? That's who I believe brought me here. You know what I'm saying? And I have a divine purpose, and I have to thank God, Jesus, all of them, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's my thing. For bringing me here, aligning me with individuals who will not only feed where I'm at now, but also cause me to think beyond, right?
Colonizers.
Yo, hold on, hold on.
Did I interrupt yours?
If I don't say this,
did I interrupt yours?
My bad.
If I don't say this, I'm gonna explode.
No, let her get her down.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying, why are you bigging up Jesus and you got more melanin than me?
Oh my God!
My Jesus don't have Jesus don't have to be your color. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Nah, but
not me.
Nah, but I feel like y'all were introduced to that.
That's a whole rabbit hole right there.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't have enough time.
All right, fair enough.
So what I've subscribed to, right? You know what I'm saying? I big up them. You know what I'm saying? All right, whatever though. You hold that
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
Would have to be being able to lose control, right? So not overall, but not feel the need to always have to know what's next. All right, and that's mine.
Okay.
All right. So, seeing how you're the guest tonight, I have one final question. If it is the final question, What's something that you could tell your younger self that you know that you learned today? You know what I mean? You could go back in time and would tell your younger self
that I learned today.
That you know now that you wish you could go back and tell your younger self. You know what I mean? Whether it's like your mantra, just something you go by, you wake up and you tell yourself either every day, every other day, that you can go back and tell yourself,
I'm him. I'm him.
Timothy? Is that you?
Really,
not him, Jones.
Telling you, I'm him, and I'm very humble. But you know,
as you should be, though.
I'm hella humble for no reason.
You are him.
Let's make
I
sure
feel like everybody needs to believe that shit about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Taylor.
Let's
You
make sure
are-
though you get a chance to shout out all your shit.
Yeah. So first, we didn't get to talk about it, but I co-founder of Veg Fest, which is the only vegan festival in Springfield, Massachusetts, and serving Western Massachusetts.
When that's going on?
April 23rd.
Let's do it.
I'm in there.
All right, 12 to 5, all vegan, plant-based
Where?
vendors. Rebecca John said we keep it in the hood. 'Cause we're
All
trying
right,
to
I went there as a kid. Let's go.
Yeah, we're trying to stop food apartheid and get some food sovereignty going. And so,
Let's go.
That will be on again April 23rd, 12 to 5. Tickets are like $6 or whatever. The reason why we sell tickets is because we want to start the first co-op in Mason Square.
Okay.
So it's gonna have real food that you can eat.
That's dope.
That's edible and can help you live longer. Our Journey Fit, that's in downtown Springfield.
Let's go.
Weight loss specialists. I really don't talk about it too much, but if you want to lose weight, you know what to do. If you
No,
want
they don't. Tell them what to do.
I'm about to end my gym membership and go to Our Journey Fit. The fuck you
Tell
talking
them.
about?
What's
yo?
Our Journey Fit?
Our Journey Fit is a health and wellness center. So we do personal training, group exercise classes, nutrition classes, detox programs.
Okay.
We just started our sister company, which we do Reiki, sound healing, yoga, and mindfulness.
Lost me there, but I'm
Where's it
coming.
at?
It's in downtown Springfield, 1341 Main Street, in the rear of the building, right next to Nosh Restaurant, where Sweet Ideas used to be in that alley.
Nosh is good as fuck too. So let's go.
And then
I might pop down there tomorrow.
Yeah, come through.
Absolutely.
Come through.
I need a detoxing.
So and then is that all I have? No, I don't. So we
That's
have
how
some
you
more
know you got a lot. When you got to be like, damn,
Yeah,
you got
too much. That is shit. I don't know.
I also
what's
knit
up.
sweaters.
Sweaters.
A tattoo on the side.
Vegan sweaters.
Vegan sweaters.
With
is
vegan
crazy.
ink.
Vegan ink. No, but I am. But we're gonna start the crusade to get real food inside our school system, so our kids are not slow as hell.
Facts.
Right? So
Facts.
the government knows it. It's not no conspiracy. We're taking it over. I'm not asking for no help. I'm not asking for no legislation. We're coming in and we're changing the food. And if they don't change it, then we're going to take our kids out of school. And we're going to start going to the charter schools and making it a problem.
Let's go.
If your kids are in school, advocate for them to get real food because it starts with them. Y'all are going to all not or change your diet. So I really don't. I push for the adults to do what they have to do because they change their children. But children are the future. If you want a future of kids that are intelligent, right, and mindful of
Instill
who they
that
are,
shit from young.
right, you got to instill it from
Train up
from
a
young.
child.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
now fight for your kids to get good, healthy food because the school system knows it's killing them. That's not even like a conspiracy. They just know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fight for your kids if you love them. So
That's what's up. Man, we appreciate y'all. Everybody that's tuned in tonight, man. We hope you come back and make sure you like and subscribe all this shit. But make sure you watch the episode again. Share with all your friends and family. Make sure you come back next Thursday. I should have already had the next guest pulled up, but I don't because I'm not necessarily the smartest individual in the
Nah,
world.
he forgot though. Look,
You're fucking
like,
up.
share,
You
and subscribe.
fucking up.
And don't forget
Something else. Yeah.
the picture
You gotta get the still.
and also the raffle that old boy did from last week.
I don't know
You what
if
I'm saying?
anyone won that shit.
All right, so
I don't
we
think-
just
They doing
gonna
raffle
promote
shit
it.
too?
We're gonna promote that shit. Period.
Promote
You know
the
what I'm saying?
raffle for Big
hey,
Mac
I'll give you a
Forward.
free. I'll give 5 free Veg Fest tickets away.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Look at that, up
If,
in the ante.
If what's the funniest thing to happen now? I want to see.
Today?
I want to see if they could reference something from today.
That means they gotta watch the show.
They gotta watch the show.
Colonizers.
Well, they're already watching the show. They're already watching the show if they know about the contest that you just brought up.
100%.
There's 5 of us if you exclude Frank, you know what I mean? It's just saying, it's 5 tickets.
Oh, okay, y'all,
That's a
y'all
fine
can
price.
come in. That's light. That's light. I'll send y'all the promo code. But I'm gonna give away 5 tickets for people that are watching. If you weren't watching, so I'm trying to think of something that was memorable.
There's a lot of good
There's
pieces.
there's
so much. There's so much.
There's mad good pieces.
What are the negative and the positives?
I know what the next fucking show is.
I thought he was going to add some value, but he didn't.
Right there.
Yo, once y'all said I was excluded with the tickets, I was like, fuck y'all.
I didn't say you excluded.
He didn't give a fuck
1, 2, 3, 4,
no more.
5.
The next
That's that
show,
colonizer
April
mentality
fucking
I'm talking about.
13th.
But I can't be in control. Yeah,
Let's go. Next show,
Thursday.
April 13th. The Big 26 for I&I. Let's go. You got to tune in. It's for the Rangers. The Rangers about to come knock this whole shit over. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, whoever can guess whose next birthday it is, the first 5 people. That was easy.
And whose last birthday it was. Because that means they had to have been paying attention.
Grandpa.
Don't test them too much. Come on.
All right, let's do
But
it.
I want to give y'all some props real quick. Y'all are dope. I watch y'all primarily because of Lance. But once I started watching all of you guys, I was like, it was amazing. And
this guy.
Rastafari, big up, man. You know, it's always good to see somebody that is true to the culture and doing what they're doing. So I think if y'all keep this, I don't watch a lot of podcasts because I don't have the patience to watch people that don't have experience and stuff like that. So, but you guys kill it, to be honest, man. And please don't stop, because you do a disservice to a lot of people when you stop. So, no more breaks.
For real.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. You know, from being behind the camera to watching it, you know, on YouTube to now being here, sitting in this chair, you know, it gives you a perspective, a point of view. It's powerful. You know what I mean? So I appreciate, you know.
What's your sign?
Oh, shit. I think she just hit on you.
I think so.
Yes, sir. She wants that
On that
military.
note,
She wants that military drill.
We'll be back in.
Not the drill. Yo, like, share, subscribe to Just Being Frank show.
Peace.
Yo,
Marvici
peace
Media.
out.
MarviciMedia.com. We love y'all. Peace.
Yo, but we gotta take the still.
Yo, pull up for your picture. Pull up.
Still. We play something. We play outro.
Hold on. I think I saved it.
Pussy
Might have been a
clad.
blink. All right, hold on. Yeah, let's get the.
Yo.
All right.
Y'all take the headphones
Yeah,
off.
take the headphones off.
Pull up to your edge of your seat and go on for the flick. Go on.
You
was in one.
Which one?
Nah, I'm gonna be in next week's. What you talking about?
Because we're supposed to just know the episode off the top of our head. You was in episode number blah, blah, blah.
Alright, look up at that middle.
Ready? On the count of 3.
3, 2, 1. Murder. Murder.
Nobody's coming vegan after this show.
Yeah.
They don't
All
want
me.
shit.
First off, I'ma go straight in and just rep for the band. No intros ever needed, you know, filthy the fans. Too much time invested in this sauce for it to go bland. I know a lot of snake niggas always trying to shake hands. They don't wanna see you up, only wanna see you down. Your decisions kinda stupid, but keep fucking with that clown. No, fuck around if you want, don't go crying with John Doe. Keep it pushing if the demons steadily around you. I'm always with the shits and elevating my set. And if you wishing me to fail, then all y'all niggas is set. And there's one thing that I don't do, and that one thing is regret. I tell my shorty with the 40, put the stick to your neck and properly check. The prophecy was obviously set. Monopoly checks is what we really trying to get. We logically bet on places you won't probably step. Disrespect one of these bosses, watch them pop out they text. And spray out your life, you trying to stay away from the light. The beige and the white is definitely displayed for the night. I rage when I write, cause most of y'all fugazi in life. Gotta pay the piper just to stay for the night.
Couldn't tell you how many times I wrote for some niggas, but when hard times fall, it be exposing them niggas. That's why I keep my distance, I ain't close to them niggas. Shit, I feel like I'm the greatest, I'm the chosen one, nigga. Barrel to your head, it's a hole in one, nigga. I'm the holy one, nigga. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one, nigga. So I ain't gotta act. Try to tell all of these fake niggas they ain't got a cap. See, I'm trying to stack bread, get straight to the cheese. Get money in the States and head straight overseas. Fealty to family, make way for the streets. Pave way for the greatest, so my niggas trying to eat. Eyes wide open for the snakes trying to speak. I'm a slide homicide, they be praying for the peace. I ain't even gotta say much. There ain't a thing that we can't touch. I've been been ready when niggas changed up. I swear to God, I put my life in this shit. Card lacking, and we clapping at your wife in the whip. They don't like when you lit, they be hype when you sick. But be the first niggas to be riding your dick. Be prepared for the come up we about to make. It's been a long time coming, motherfucker, we ain't trying to wait. I swear to God, it's time to violate. I can't stop till I got me a suite in the Empire State. I gotta rep my entire state. Filthy family, how much more do we gotta say? Gotta say. Filthy family, how much more do we gotta say? Filthy family, how much more do we gotta say?